10 years ago, the world changed forever. Portals tore through reality, unleashing beasts and mutants upon Earth. Humanity's only hope, the awakened warriors gifted with the power to strike back against the nightmare. Enter Li Yi, a bottom-tier laborer. His daily life risking slow death in irradiated mines just to survive. Then, the unthinkable happened. A containment breach turned the mine into a blood-soaked hunting ground for mutants. Being the youngest made Li Yi an easy target. His coworkers heartlessly sacrificed him to buy themselves time. But Li Yi's soul burned with defiance. Who decided that the weak must simply accept their death? As his life faded, an ancient darkness took notice. Drawn to his unbreakable and death-defying spirit, the pact was sealed. The darkness system surged to life, claiming Li Yi's broken body as its own. This supreme power would not tolerate disrespect. Those who trampled him were about to meet their maker. Was it you, the shadow whispered? The mere insect who dared to touch my chosen vessel, seeking vengeance against man and monster alike. Li Yi becomes the shadow that will conquer the world. Our story begins with a desperate gasp in the dark. A single, agonizing question. Why me? Boss Wang loomed over him, cold and ruthless. Don't think your parents' death erases their debt. Kid, the sins of the father belong to the son. Li Yi couldn't grasp their twisted, cruel logic. Why he screamed, his voice cracking with pure, raw injustice against the world. My parents died in your mines. You should be the ones paying me for their lives. Life as a miner was a cycle of abuse. Only awakening offered a sliver of hope for survival. The odds were 1 in 1,000. A suicidal gamble. Yet someone had to be the sacrifice. Li Yi wanted to roar in fury. 1 in 1,000. Why don't you bastards go first? Hope had vanished. Only the pool of blood beneath him bore witness to his wretched existence. For a second, he considered letting go and letting the cold embrace of death take him. But he crawled forward. You're all afraid to die. So why is my life so expendable? Surrounded by monsters in human skin. A true nightmare appeared, a gargantuan mutant, radiating pure despair. Where was the hero? No miracle arrived. No hidden power exploded to save the day. Suddenly, jagged spikes tore through his chest with terrifying ease, pinning him to the cold ground. He felt the cold touch of death. Yet, his weak hand reached out, fueled by unyielding spite. Just because I'm weak, his eyes turned bloodshot, bulging with a terrifying and primal intensity. Who decided that the weak must sit quietly and wait to be slaughtered like cattle? Suddenly, a torrent of black aura erupted. Mysterious system notifications began flooding his failing vision, linking with unknown entity. Analyzing host data. System integration in progress. The darkness system was live, reality warped. And time spiraled back to his days as a miner, back to the grind. Suiting up in hazmat gear to harvest energy stones from the abyss, Manager Wang Hai watched over the crew, keeping a sharp eye on every disposable soul. He approached with a greasy smile. Not bad. Kid, you've been working hard this month. At this rate, you'll clear your parents' debt in just 18 more months. Keep it up for 5 more years. And you might even afford a tiny apartment. Li Yi just smiled and nodded, playing the part of the obedient and lowly worker. I'll do my best. He lied, while inwardly, his teeth nearly shattered from suppressed rage. You greedy parasite, once this debt is paid, I'm gone. 5 years, do it yourself. The radiation offered a 1 in 1,000 chance to evolve, but for most, it was a death sentence. In truth, no one would choose this hell unless life had backed them into a corner. On the silent transport truck, a voice suddenly cut through the heavy and grim atmosphere. Is he the one? The boy whose parents died 3 years ago? The one they denied compensation to and then shackled with all that impossible debt? Yeah. The corporation claimed they caused millions in damages. Truly, a pathetic fate for a child. A two-spat at the very idea of pity. To him, the boy was simply too pathetic to survive. If it were me, I'd stake my life for a settlement. He challenged the group's twisted logic. You'd die for money, don't be a fool. What use is cash to a cold corpse? Better to take the money and live. Our hero, Li Yi, could only watch in silent bitterness. Perfection is a lie in this cruel, unforgiving world. Sometimes, weakness isn't a choice. Sometimes, the world simply loses its goddamn mind. As the miners gathered at the abyss, Wang Hai barked his final orders. The work begins now. Suddenly, the very foundation of the world trembled. Panic erupted like a violent volcano, an earthquake. The experienced capitalist was the first to regain his footing. Within seconds, he regained his composure and cursed at the terrified crowd. It is just a tiny tremor, but the others knew better. Earthquakes don't happen in this dimension. Even the veterans were baffled. In all their years, this realm had never once shaken. A chilling realization began to take root in their minds. Monsters. The mere word sent a wave of absolute terror through the ranks. We have to leave. I heard mutants live here. They are far worse than any beast. It is suicide to stay. We need to get out of here right now. Wang Hai's roar sliced through the screams. Shut your mouths. All of you. This zone was cleared 3 years ago. There are no mutants left. Anyone who lies again, before his threat could land. A razor-sharp claw erupted through his chest like a blade. A2 and the others froze in pure, unadulterated horror at the sight. The manager stared into the abyss of a massive shadow. Death was knocking at his door. The miners finally found their voices. Screaming the name of their worst nightmare. Mutants. They rained from the sky like a curse, tearing through anyone caught in their sight. Run Li Yi tried to scramble away. But deep down, he knew escape was impossible. The exit was 10 miles away. His eyes darted back, watching the carnage unfold. Can I even survive this? His legs moved on instinct despite the paralyzing fear. This was not a fight. This was an extinction event beyond all human strength. Fate struck hard. A colleague was hurled through the air, slamming into Li Yi's back. The sheer momentum crushed him against a jagged rock wall with terrifying force. The impact was so violent it left a deep crater in the solid stone. As Li Yi gasped for breath, the others abandoned him, scrambling onto the transport. Step on it. Wait for me. You bastards. The engine roared to life, spitting out black smoke as it surged forward without him. Wait for me, he pleaded. But the truck didn't slow down for a single second. The mutants were not finished. Their spindly fingers tore through the metal roof like paper. They did not just kill. They plucked people out like they were discarded toys. Desperate screams filled the air as they struggled against their inevitable end. To Li Yi's confusion, the monsters ignored him, focusing entirely on the fleeing crowd. Then, a deafening explosion rocked the tunnel. The transport vanished in a ball of fire. Distance was his only savior. Li Yi had narrowly escaped the lethal blast, but the carnage before him was more than any normal man could ever bear. Strangely, the iron-skinned monsters were now screaming, transformed into living torches. That was it. The secret. Their one true weakness was fire. A spark of hope flickered in his eyes. He had to try. But then, the mutant ignored its fallen kin, lunging with a jagged blade that sent a chill down Li Yi's spine. Danger from the right. In a split-second surge of adrenaline, Li Yi twisted his body. Barely escaping death's grasp, he lunged forward, snatching the torch, a flickering beacon of survival amidst the encroaching shadows. With a desperate roar, he swung the flames wildly, forcing the beast back with the searing heat. Embers licked at his boots. Yet Li Yi didn't flinch. Back off, he barked. Realizing the monsters, hesitation confirmed his theory. It was just as he suspected. Setting his fear aside, he turned to the trembling survivors, his voice cutting through the chaos. Listen up. These things are terrified of the flames. 10 years ago, the world fractured. Dimensional gates spilled nightmares, beasts, and mutants onto our soil. Only those who evolved through radiation could stand against the tide. They became humanity's ultimate shield. These awakened ones brought a glimmer of hope, fighting to seal the rifts forever. Their power birthed a new era, allowing us to harvest the mysterious energy from beyond the gates. But Li Yi's team were mere mortals. For them, every breath in this hellscape was a desperate struggle. Grab the torches, he urged. It's our only chance to hold them back. Panic surged as the horde grew. With no strength left to run, they scrambled for anything that would burn. Faced with certain doom, Wang Jin trembled, knowing the fire was dying. Meanwhile, Li Yi's mind raced, searching for a way out. The warehouse. We use the fuel to create a wall of fire and wait for rescue. Back to back, he commanded. Form a circle and move toward the exit. Dawn break rank. They moved as one, a fragile phalanx, keeping the hungry shadows at bay. Reaching the entrance, Li Yi's voice cracked the silence. Now pour the gasoline at the mouth of the cave. Without a second thought, his comrade kicked the barrel over, drenching the ground in fuel. They retreated to a safe distance, hearts hammering as the mutants lunged into the invisible trap. Li Yi seized the moment. Now he roared, hurling his torch into the liquid. The torch arced through the air, landing perfectly amidst the fuel. Boom! A wall of crimson fury erupted, swallowing the lead mutant in a chorus of agonized shrieks. For the first time, they could breathe. Wang Jin slumped over, clapping Li Yi's shoulder in pure relief. Li Yi, you saved us, he wheezed. We'd be Monster Chow if it wasn't for your quick thinking. Others chimed in. Seriously? Man, if you ever need anything, I've got your back. But Li Yi didn't hear them. His gaze was fixed on something strange, something that chilled his blood. Their job was to mine energy crystals, not to uncover ancient mysteries. That statue, Wang Jin whispered, his seasoned eyes narrowing at the eerie stone figure. It was unearthed deep in the tunnels ages ago. He explained, the manager probably hid it here to sell on the black market. You seem quite fascinated by it. It looked ancient. Suddenly, the radio on Atu's belt crackled to life. Sector 7. Do you copy? The group froze. It is them. Ask when the rescue team is arriving. Sector 7 here. Atu shouted. We are under siege by mutants. Send help immediately. Silence followed. Then a voice delivered news that felt like a double-edged sword. Copy that. Rescue is 2 hours out. Hold your position and stay alive until then. 2 hours. Atu paled. The weight of the deadline crashing down on him. Can't you be faster? We static cut him off. The line went dead. Dread filled the air as the survivors realized the gravity of their situation. What do we do? Our suits only have 90 minutes of power. I'm not ready to die here. My family is waiting. Damn it, let's just take the truck and blast our way out of here. Amidst the rising chaos, Li Yi remained silent, his mind descending into the depths of a new, darker plan. Desperation sets in as his suit's power drops to 61%. Time is running out for reinforcements. Amidst the growing chaos, a voice cut through the panic. Quiet down, I have something to say. It was 𝐓𝐴. That treacherous snake. He knew their power cells wouldn't last until help arrived. Look at the situation. He sneered. In this hellhole, someone has to be the sacrificial lamb. With cold indifference, he eyed the weak, the elderly, and the orphan, despite having just survived together. He pointed directly at Li Yi, forgetting that without the boy, they'd all be monster food. You're just a debt-ridden loser with nothing to live for. Your life is already a tragedy. Hand over your battery now. Li Yi clenched his jaw, his blood boiling with pure, helpless rage. Old man, before he could finish, a heavy wooden beam struck him down. You dare resist me. The others joined the mockery. Fighting back? Go ahead. Kid, show us what you've got. 𝐓𝐴 loomed over him like a predator, acting as if this cruelty was some divine mercy. I'm helping you. Psy mocked. Maybe this radiation will finally trigger your awakening. Exactly. Awaken a superpower and become our hero. Don't let us down. Little champion, powerless to stop them. Li Yi could only hiss through the pain. If I survive, you re-dead to these monsters. His desperate threat was nothing more than a pathetic, laughable joke. As if you have that luck. Psy grinned, clutching the stolen power cell like a trophy. Having crushed their former leader, the thugs' morale soared as they turned into vultures. They scanned the crowd for their next victim. Now, who else wants to awaken today? Suddenly, the ground shook in a panic. Tao Jun grabbed a nearby worker to use as a shield. Take them. Not me. His cowardice only drew the thugs' attention, sparking a frantic, desperate chase. Spotting the last remaining vehicle, he lunged for it, ready to leave everyone behind. Stop right there, the others screamed, refusing to let their only ticket out escape. Curse you all, if I'm going to die, I'm taking every one of you with me. Driven mad by fear, he cared only for escape and making his tormentors pay the price. In his blind struggle, the statue was toppled, destroying their only defense. Stop him. Now, if that fire barrier goes out, we all as good as dead. In an instant, the defense Li Yi built collapsed into ash. The monsters were finally inside. The mutants. They were here. Run for your lives. They've broken through, abandoned and alone. Li Yi glanced at a fallen statue nearby. Even you're laughing at me. It wasn't a hallucination. The great sage statue actually bared its teeth in a twisted grin. Even a piece of junk mocks me. Before he could react, a mutant lunged at the stone. The creature ignored the cold stone, its hunger fixed on something much more appetizing. It turned its blood-red eyes toward Li Yi. Why me? Why must I endure this nightmare? No miracles came. No heroes appeared. Only the crushing weight of a cruel, unfair world. Both body and soul shattered into total despair. Is it because I'm just too weak? Suddenly, memories flooded back the edge of the abyss and the voices of those who cast him out. Get out, no money, no home. Your dead parents won't save you from these debts. I don't hire losers. He remembered the cold, arrogant face of Chairman Chu from NG Group. Investigate your parents, sue us, you've truly lost your mind. Boy, the man threw a stack of letters. Every single report you sent ended up on my desk. You want the truth? Fine. I'll give you the truth you deserve to hear. He spat out a fabricated lie. Your parents' negligence caused the accident. They are the criminals. We owe you nothing. In fact, you owe us for the damage your parents caused. Powerless and alone, Li Yi could only clench his fists until his palms bled. Then came the final blow. You should have just taken the scraps and disappeared forever. Why persist in chasing a truth that only brings pain? Helpless, he endured bone-shattering strikes and insults. Now, your debt belongs to me, 30,000 in interest monthly. 3 years for the principal. On the 15th, my men will visit. If you fail to pay, pray for mercy, beneath a morning sky. Brother Huang offered a deal that would rewrite Li Yi's destiny forever. You are a pathetic sight. Fine. I will grant you one way out. Become a dimensional miner. It is your only hope of survival. The memory fades, leaving behind a burning, obsessive resolve. If death is inevitable, I will drag you into the abyss with me. Li Yi defied his fate, pushing his broken body to the limit. Weakness. Since when did the weak have to accept death quietly? Fortune smiled. His desperate strike forced the monstrous mutant to recoil in agony. That fleeting explosion of power vanished, replaced by a crushing exhaustion that paralyzed his every limb. The beast's essence was revolting, drifting into the cold, eternal void, where Qin slumbered. I expected a hidden awakening. But this, just the pathetic thrashing of a dying soul, even with a hole in his chest. Li Yi sneered. At least I left a mark. And you are nothing, a mere shattered relic, trampled under a monster's feet. Yet, Qin remained unfazed by the boy's sharp tongue. Only I can pull you from the brink. Surrender your flesh to me. Boy, Li Yi's pride flared through the pain. I refuse. I would rather rot than be a puppet for a hideous monster like you. Qin thunderous laughter echoed. Ha ha ha, such defiant spirit. Even at death's door, it was only Li Yi's soul speaking. While his physical vessel teetered on the edge of oblivion under Qin gaze. Foolish child. Do you think you actually have a choice in this matter? Suddenly, the shadow system roared to life. A dark surge erupted, ensnaring the beast in an inescapable grip of terror. An irresistible force crushed the creature, forcing its head into the dirt as if begging for forgiveness. In an instant, Qin seized control. A cataclysmic aura exploded from Li Yi, shaking the very foundations of reality. So, you are the insignificant insect who dared to trample upon my image. With a casual flick, the mutant was erased. I told you. I never forget a slight. The air around Li Yi's body turned frigid. Yet, another mindless beast dared to crawl out from the shadows. Its screeching was an affront to his ears. To a supreme being like Qin, it was deafeningly annoying. With a wave of his hand, shadow energy swirled into a myriad of lethal forms. Begone. A void opened like a ravenous maw, dragging the wretched creature into eternal nothingness. Suddenly, the creature's remains were spat back out, discarded like worthless trash. Qin recoiled in disgust. Raw filth. Its taste is truly beyond repulsive, but his wrath wasn't reserved for monsters alone. Next on the list, these human scumbags. The treacherous miners trembled in fear. LLEE, stay back, we will report you for this. Qin ignored their whimpers, relinquishing control to see how Li Yi would handle these rats. I wonder, with your body back, what kind of vengeance will you choose? Tendrils of shadow erupted, binding the traitors in an unbreakable, shadowy grip. Let us go. We only did what we had to survive. A sigh cried out, desperate and pathetic. Besides, he stammered, you should thank us. We are the reason you awakened your powers. Feipan joined in, shamelessly. Exactly, we pushed you to your limit. You owe us. Qin receded, leaving Li Yi standing there, his murderous intent suffocating the air. Oh, so I should be grateful. Li Yi's voice was like ice. Feipan, sensing an opening, tried to bargain. No need for thanks. Just let us go, and we will forget everything. Asai nodded frantically. Yes. Exactly. Unfortunately for them, Li Yi was about to show them the true meaning of retribution. I will do better than that. I will help you awaken too. With a cold smirk, he stripped away their life support gear. The moment their protective gear hit the ground, the raw, lethal radiation of the dimension flooded their lungs. Cough Li. Li Yi. You monster. As both men collapsed, unable to even struggle, the surviving miners trembled in pure terror. Don't kill me, they begged. Li Yi ignored their cries, claiming their batteries as his rightful spoils. Yet, this cold display of pragmatism left Qin deeply dissatisfied. Discard that useless pity, he hissed, as the dark energy coiled back into his physical form. Softness breeds ruin. These harsh lessons from Jing Tian only fueled Li Yi's mounting irritation. Shut up. No more lectures. Jing Tian smirked. Let's see if your resolve holds against death. Stepping out. A relentless tide of monsters surged forward, catching him completely off guard, facing the mutants. With his newly awakened power coursing through his veins, the lingering fear in Li Yi's eyes vanished, replaced by a cold, sharp focus. So many. Jing Tian taunted. Yield your body to me, or die fighting this trash yourself. Despite his resolve, his body betrayed him. Afraid of these bottom feeders, your legs are shaking. Without my strength, you re nothing. But Li Yi refused to break. He surged forward. A single, superhuman leap cleared the mutant's reach. Stop lecturing me. Mid-air, he spun with impossible grace, marveling at his body, its incredible transformation, so weightless. Even the monster's razor-sharp claws felt sluggish. He blocked the lethal strike with effortless ease, but before he could breathe, a gaping, abyssal maw lunged from his blind spot. Sensing the killing intent, he twisted mid-flight, narrowly evading death with predatory instinct. In the heat of this desperate struggle, his true potential bloomed. Speed and reflexes reached a new level. Jing Tian merely scoffed, bound to the shadow system. Yet you only possess this much power. Pathetic. Li Yi didn't wait. Rage ignited, swirling into a dense sphere of energy. Shut up. A split second later, he delivered a devastating blow, sending the mutant reeling with a scream. Only then did reality sink in. How could his strength be skyrocketing this fast? But the beast rose again. Physical force wasn't enough to finish these horrors off. As his mind raced for a solution, he yearned for a blade. Suddenly, dark energy coalesced into a solid weapon in his grip, the shadow blade. Born from the void itself, as the monster lunged again, he dropped into a perfect stance. Let's see how you cut. With one masterful stroke, the mutant was cleaved in two before it could even blink. A smirk played on his lips. Finally, he held the power to truly slaughter these nightmares. Questions flooded his mind. Had he finally stepped into the realm of the awakened? But mid-thought, a stray monster caught him off guard. Landing a heavy, crushing blow, he retaliated instantly, beheading the beast. Battle lust ignited every cell in his body. This wasn't just the thrill of newfound power. It was the burning hope that he finally possessed the strength to defy his fate. Time blurred. When the dust settled, Li Yi collapsed, gasping for air amidst the blood-stained ruins. The morning light shifted into a weary, golden hue. Not a single monster remained. The immediate threat had been completely neutralized. A notification chimed evolution to rank E successful. Soon, the rescue team arrived. The nurse frowned at the monitors. No injuries. Vitals are perfect. Why won't he wake? Typical for new evolvers. The doctor noted. His body needs time to adapt to the drain. Young Shi's eyes lit up with excitement. An awakened. What's his actual rank? Dao Xia Sihid. Used to her outbursts. Calm down. We'll find out once he's conscious. Checking the final chart, he turned to leave. Come on. Next room. Yet. She couldn't help herself. Just one more look. He's simply too handsome. Once they left, King Tian emerged, grumbling in frustration. Why a rank E human with my status? I should be rank B at the very least. Though rank E can trigger the shadow system, this frail body can handle even a fraction of my true power. As he cursed his miserable fate, Li Yi finally regained consciousness, his mind racing. You again. What are you? And why won't you leave me alone? Instantly, King Tian radiated a kingly pressure. Listen well, I am an ancient sovereign, ruler of 10,000 hells. I command you to surrender your body to me. Once I reclaim my throne, you shall be rewarded. But Li Yi just stared back with pure skepticism. An ancient sovereign, yeah. Right. Never heard of such a thing. There's no way I'm handing my body over to some ugly, shadowy cockroach like you. Little did he know. The entity heard every insult. Calling me an ugly cockroach. How dare this mere human? Ignoring the insults, King Tian pressed on. Enough talk. Offer your body. It's your only purpose in life. Li Yi's mind took a wild, wrong turn. Wait. Is this thing after my good looks? Don't tempt me. If I'm forced, well, it's not impossible. But wait. Does this thing even have a gender? These absurd thoughts left King Tian speechless. I need to be firm, so he backs down. I wonder if reasoning with him will work. This is impossible between us. But if I make him angry, I'm dead meat. Finally, 𝐾𝐀𝐑𝐊𝐿's patience snapped. Enough, what kind of nonsense are you imagining? Shut up. 𝐾𝐀𝐑𝐿 was drowning in regret. Wishing he could just go blind. Why did I choose this human? If it wasn't an emergency, I'd have picked an old dog over this absolute trash. Disgusted, he decided to toss the boy into a newly formed portal. You have 3 days to reach rank D, or I'll erase you. Li Yi didn't complain. Just felt utterly confused. Wait. Wasn't I in the hospital? 𝐾𝐀𝐑𝐿 sneered. This Hellgate is my clan's rank E trial, the insect nest. He provided further details. Each of his kind gets only 1 shot at this. Li Yi realized. Since he's inside me, the trial counter must have reset. Then, the first insect appeared. Surprisingly, Li Yi recognized it immediately. An armored guard beetle. How do I know that? It turned out to be a gift from 𝐾𝐀𝐿. My shadow system automatically pulls data from my memories. Get used to it. Kid. The shadow system, he whispered, gripping his newly formed shadow blade. Sharp, chaotic strikes rained down in a flash. The speed of this clash far surpassed any mutant battle. Li Yi was stunned. So fast, enraged by the tiny human, the beast let out a deafening roar, showing no fear. He dodged and analyzed. It's back. That's the weak point. He struck the beetle's shell with his shadow blade, then landed with a graceful triple spin maneuver. Unfortunately, the strike did 0 damage, only serving to trigger the monster's berserk speed. Li Yi was sent flying, forced to plant his blade into the ground just to stay upright. TSK, he gripped his weapon, tension radiating through his entire body. That shell is too tough, 𝐾𝐿 sneered. You were useless. Is charging blindly your only tactic? The taunt only fueled his fire, sparking a defiant roar from the young warrior. I'll fight my own way. Don't come crying to me when you fail then. The entity scoffed as Li Yi launched a desperate assault. Damn it, does this bug have no weakness at all? As expected of an armored guard, its limbs were harder than steel. Fed up with being hit, it finally snapped. A sudden shockwave erupted, blasting Li Yi across the cavern. Despite his upgrades, the impact against the jagged stone floor was devastating. As a frustrated 𝐾𝐿 watched this pathetic rank E struggle, Li Yi noticed blood. But it wasn't his own. The source of this ichor is clear. It's leaking directly from the shield beetle's exposed joints. An unstoppable fury erupted from the beast, confirming Li Yi's theory beyond any doubt. Is that your blood? A sharp glint of predatory excitement danced in his eyes. Ha, found your weak spot. But the shield guard insect wasn't about to play dead. Fueled by agonizing blood loss and pure spite, the monster charged with world-shattering momentum. Li Yi stood his ground. It was time to show this beast who the real prey was. Even 𝐃𝐿 was stunned by his sudden evolution, the awakening of the shadow eyes. He poured everything into a strike at the joint. Shatter yet. It barely left a scratch. Inviting mockery. All that effort just to take a single leg, pathetic. Li Yi stayed silent. Without that front leg, the beast's absolute defense was finally compromised. Striking your vitals just got a lot easier. His cold tone left 𝐃𝐿 questioning the truth. He gripped his shadow blade tight, yet realized he needed a weapon with more lethal reach. In an instant, shadows coalesced into a wicked spear. Perfect. This will do. Harnessing every ounce of his strength, he hoisted the massive, armored carcass into the air. As gravity took hold, Li Yi delivered his final lecture. This bug stayed still because, with one lightning-fast thrust, the nightmare ended. Your belly. That's where you're soft. After that life-or-death struggle, Li Yi finally caught his breath, savoring the sweet taste of triumph. We won. 𝐃𝐿 chimed in, his words dripping with his usual brand of toxic sarcasm, huffing and puffing over a mere E-rank shield guard. How embarrassing. Ignoring the jab, Li Yi felt a strange surge of power only to be called a fool again. Energy stones could trigger an evolution. A notification flashed. Breakthrough to D+. 0.2%. A literal XP farm. Suddenly, an eerie sound cut through the air. Something was lurking nearby. 𝐃𝐿 smirked, sensing the boy's confusion. Can't you use your shadow eyes to see? Li Yi blinked, completely clueless about his own power. Surprisingly, the sarcasm vanished. Focus your dark energy into your retinas to activate the skill. Li Yi channeled the power. In a blink, Shadow Eyes Level 1 was officially online. His vision exploded into clarity, revealing the needle thorn insect, launching a barrage of organic projectiles. Thanks to his new sight, he evaded death by a hair's breadth. He nearly ended up pulverized, but the danger wasn't over. Blurs of motion danced around him, fueling his growing unease. Too fast, these shadows were aiming for his vitals. Wait. There it is again. He performed a flawless mid-air twist. Guided by pure survival instinct and razor-sharp reflexes, despite his evasive maneuvers, the enemy remained a ghostly blur. Something was wrong. Is this Shadow Eye skill a dud? Why is everything still so blurry? Jing Tian's answer was brutally honest. The skill isn't broken. You were just too weak to use it. That sparked a fire in Li Yi. Weak. Then I'll just have to pack more punch. His movements grew fluid. His techniques sharpening so fast that even Jing Tian was left speechless. A mere E-rank amateur wielding shadow energy like a pro. This is getting interesting. His eyes locked onto the E-rank pests, the swift-blade insects. Notorious as the head harvesters. Beside them lurked the Night Stalker thorns. Masters of the lethal poisonous projectile. It seems you've finally memorized your basic monster biology. He braced for a duo fight. But the air turned cold as he realized the horrific truth. The abyss wasn't empty, it was a literal sea of chitin and mandibles. Overflowing from the shadows. As your kind says, if you see one roach, there are thousands more in the walls. Li Yi gulped. A literal tsunami of monsters erupted, threatening to drown the lone human survivor. Screech, he didn't flinch. Faced with certain death. His resolve actually earned a rare nod from Jing Tian. Impressive. He knows exactly where to stand to avoid a four-sided ambush. Li Yi didn't hesitate, channeling his full power into the twin shadow blades. All of you. Drop dead. A massive surge of energy erupted. A violent shockwave that pulverized anything it touched. Shadows swirled as Jing Tian gasped in shock. Already awakened the Stage 2 Shadow Eye. In that heart-pounding moment, Li Yi's sheer will began to shift the flow of battle. This E-rank underdog was a true wildcard. Suddenly, the system announced Shadow Eye Level 2 unlocked. When darkness becomes your vision, every enemy heartbeat is merely a countdown to their demise. Ascended at last. Li Yi charged. The once fast insects now moved like they were trapped in slow motion. The system's S-interface flashed red. Weakness of the needle beast has been identified. The purple glow revealed their fatal flaw, a gift from his newly evolved Stage 2 Shadow Eye. He analyzed every function with icy calm. Now that he could see through their defenses, every strike was lethal. Li Yi roared. Their weak point is right underneath them. He had evolved beyond just summoning weapons. He was finally mastering his true shadow arts. Shadow burial. He drove his power into the earth, impaling enemies with a forest of dark spikes. System alerts flooded in. D-rank progress 2.7%. This speed was far too slow. Only 0.7% per kill. I need more power than this. Facing the endless tide of stingers, his lingering fear transformed into a cold, murderous rush. He wiped them out in one clean sweep. 5.3%. His precision was now terrifying. The accuracy of the Stage 2 Shadow Eye was beyond anything he'd ever experienced. But while the stingers were easy, the speed crawler was a blur that he barely dodged. Jing Tian scoffed. Quick reflexes, kid. But your brain is still struggling to keep up. The Level 2 Shadow Eye flared in his pupils, finally tracking the speed crawler's insane trajectory. His mind raced, instantly reshaping the shadow blades into a lethal, flexible whip. With a fluid flick of his wrist, he unleashed a strike, teeming with overwhelming force. Gotcha, he snared the beast, following up with a brutal, coordinated shadow blade execution. Beheading it was effortless. The system chimed, Speedcrawler weakness has been successfully recorded. The remaining needle beasts weren't backing down, preparing their final, desperate counterattack. They unleashed a hail of spines, targeting the arrogant humans standing in their way. Instead of fear, Li Yi felt a surge of battle lust. So, you want to play? Let's play. He manipulated the darkness with godlike precision, his whip cleaving the monsters clean in half. 12.1%. He didn't stop, shifting his weapon once more to face the swarm. A thin but unbreakable shadow thread lashed out, ensnaring a whole group of speed crawlers. Get down here, you filth. Jing Tian watched, finally, looking impressed. You finally look like a warrior. Despite your hideous form, the Shadow Eye's gift was massive, supercharging his reflexes, strength, and dark manipulation. His D-rank progress surged to 34.2%. The power was truly intoxicating, but there was a catch. The Shadow Eye's gift was rapidly draining his mental stamina. Li Yi's body suddenly faltered as a wave of dizziness hit. Jing Tian simply sighed. He's still just an E-rank. It seems he's already pushed his body to the absolute limit. His vision blurred, but he refused to let go. He hadn't fought this hard just to fail. That momentary lapse in focus was all the needle beast needed to strike his exposed back. But his iron will wouldn't crumble. He gripped his blades, swearing he wouldn't fall here. The countdown continued. 15 hours, 28 minutes, and 42 seconds left on the clock. In this moment of crisis, memories of the corrupt bastards who ruined his life flashed by. The NG Group's scum covered up his parents' deaths. That pure, unadulterated rage became his fuel. Am I being looked down on? Simply for being ordinary. His growth is explosive. D-rank synchronization jumped to 70% in record time. Those blade strikes are leaving blurs of afterimages. Li Yi's hands never falter. Now that I finally have power, surrendering is no longer an option. Vengeance fuels his every move. In just over 2 hours, his breakthrough progress surged from 81 to 94%. The final hour evaporated in an instant. And the true challenge still looms ahead. Amidst a sea of insect carcasses and green ichor, he makes a vow. I'll drag those arrogant beasts to hell and force them to kneel at my parents' graves. Pure, unyielding determination keeps Li Yi standing tall atop that mountain of mangled remains. Breakthrough 95. 4%. Time, remaining 2 minutes. 15 seconds. Even Jing Tian's eyes narrowed at this terrifying transformation. Human malice is the perfect fuel for the shadow system. It nourishes the dark energy within him. The mockery has vanished, replaced by urgent encouragement. Time is fading fast. You must move now. As the pile of carcasses grew, so did his power. In the final 1.5-second countdown, his D-rank synchronization hit 97.8%. Even the legendary Jing Tian couldn't help but marvel at such reckless audacity. Do you really plan to release all that dark energy at once? One mistake, and your body will explode. With 3 seconds left, Li Yi gritted his teeth. Just a bit more. I'll sacrifice anything to become stronger. The energy surged with violent intensity. He roared his resolve. I'll bet everything I have on this single moment. The seconds ticked away one by one, until the trial clock finally struck 0. As the clock hit 0, Li Yi soared high. Wreathed in shadows, he slammed down like a meteor, turning the swarm into ash and dust. Simultaneously, system alert breakthrough 100% D-rank evolution complete, but the toll was heavy, leaving him gasping for every breath. Jing Tian appeared with a smirk. Not bad, kid. From now on, I'll call you Little D. Suddenly, his sharp gaze locked onto something unexpected, lurking within the debris. Metallic objects. Li Yi hesitated. These weren't energy stones, they were weapons. This nest was once an evil race training ground. This blade, it would be A rank by human standards. With his new strength, Li Yi lifted the heavy steel. Though questions remained, a dagger. To me, this looks more like a massive greatsword. Are your people all giants? His companion replied, with the usual cold, aristocratic pride. Compared to my shadow power, these trinkets are worthless. Li Yi frowned. I wouldn't be so sure about that. He quickly gathered the loot, the black gold dagger, the boa chain, and the wolf's fang. Jing Tian watched him, puzzled. Do you actually have a use for those rusty scraps? His answer was brutally practical. Cash. Finally, a glimmer of hope for his future began to shine. But there was a catch. Only registered D-rankers could sell equipment. First stop, the Awakening Registry Hall. Unfortunately, reality had other plans. The sound of the stamp hitting the paper made him want to scream. E-rank. How is that even possible? The receptionist didn't even look up, her face full of pure boredom and disdain. Your physical stats are decent, but we can't detect even a single ripple of energy within you. Conclusion. Rank E. Cold sweat poured down his face while she continued her monotone explanation without a care. Since you're registered as a minor, this E-rank promotion grants you a 15% wage increase. Lucky you. All that effort for nothing, Li Yi scoffed bitterly. So much for being an unrivaled shadow system. Jing Tian snapped back. It's not the system, it's the pathetic, limited perception of you humans. You can't even sense true shadows. This realization gave him pause. Being undetectable might be a blessing, but selling this gear just got a lot more complicated. Time blurred as it sped past. Before long, Li Yi arrived at the night market, a lawless den where the sun never shines and dark deals are made. The night. How fitting for a shadow user. Jing Tian mused. But Li Yi's arrival immediately drew the attention of the local scum. Look at that filthy miner-esque gear. The stench of the pits is ruining the air. A lowly miner in a place like this, rare indeed. As Li Yi scanned the weapons, Jing Tian sighed in disbelief. Humans are pathetic. You glue some shiny stones to scrap metal and call it a divine relic. I'm starting to pity you. Luo Dao emerged from the back, immediately clocking Li Yi's low status. Beat it, peasant, he barked. Get lost. What's a lowly miner doing here? Don't dirty our shop. You couldn't afford a single brick in this place. Li Yi didn't lose his cool. Instead, his voice turned ice cold as he countered. Is this how you treat your customers? The man sneered openly with pure contempt. Customer A, penniless rat, like you can buy a speck of dust in here. At this moment, Li Yi had no intention of wasting another breath on the likes of Luo Dao. Your junk doesn't interest me. Call an appraiser. Let's see what this greatsword is truly worth. Suddenly, a shrill, flirtatious voice cut through the air. Brother Ding, you finally reached D rank. It was Su Sheng, a commoner by birth, but a snob by choice. Why bring me to such a stinking place? Beside her stood Chu Ding, a D-rank evolver brimming with arrogance. Seeing a VIP, Lu Dao scurried over. Ah. Young Master Chu, welcome. What treasures have you brought for us today? Found a decent blade in the abyss. I am trading it for a new car for my girl. The black market veteran recognized it instantly. It was the legendary Wind Howl sword, a top-tier D-rank weapon with massive damage buffs. As they gloated, Li Yi's skeptical voice broke the mood. Seeing Su Sheng triggered a flood of bitter memories about his toxic ex-girlfriend. Your parents are gone anyway. Why not just take the millions in compensation and move on? Now you've lost the money and gained debt. Don't ever crawl back to me again. A waste of my time. Chu Ding frowned. You know him. She immediately feigned ignorance. Me? How could I possibly know a low-life miner like him? Maybe he's a fan. Being an influencer means being recognized by trash like him is normal. Seeing Li Yi as a nobody. Chu Ding sneered. Who gave you permission to say her name? This place is losing its class. Letting garbage in drags down the reputation of the whole shop. He channeled energy into the Wind Howl sword. The scrapyard is at the end of the street. Take your junk and get out before they close. Scram. Chu Ding swung his blade with murderous intent. But his arrogance was met with a shocking reality check. How is this possible? Before Li Yi could even strike, the scene turned into a pathetic comedy. Seems your sword is the real trash here. Su Sheng stood frozen, unable to believe her hero failed. You said this blade could slice through steel like butter. How could it break? Ignoring her, Chu Ding gnashed his teeth in fury. Something inside his mind finally snapped. Lightning crackled around his fist as he roared in a blind, hysterical rage. You're dead, kid. But his punch was a joke compared to the monsters Li Yi had faced in the trenches. Li Yi dodged effortlessly. Too slow. Chu Ding scoffed. Nice reflexes for a rat. He wasn't finished. Lightning surged into his legs, crackling with every heavy step. Now try this. Chu Ding launched a devastating flurry of lightning-fast kicks. Despite the flashy display, his storm of attacks didn't even touch Li Yi. Slower than a bug-esque crawl. Li Yi mused. Chu Ding's blood boiled with absolute humiliation. Is not this guy supposed to be a bottom-tier miner below E rank? Rage blinded him, making his strikes sloppy. Why couldn't he land a single hit on this peasant? Li Yi grew bored of dodging. Dark energy surged forth, binding Chu Ding like iron chains. Even trapped, he barked. Miners belong in the dirt. Li Yi's smile turned predatory and terrifying. In that case, shouldn't dogs stay on their bellies on the ground? With a violent yank, he slammed Chu Ding face first into the cold floor. A pathetic groan followed. Su Sheng screamed in horror, gasping for air. Chu Ding struggled to his feet, cursing through the pain. Li Yi wasn't done. He unleashed a devastating strike, fueling it with years of suppressed rage. You really do have the soul of a mutt, don't you? Master Chu. The insult pushed Chu Ding over the edge. I'll kill you. You were dead meat. Before he could strike, a thunderous voice boomed through the hall. Stop this instant. The man stepping forward was none other than Boss Wang, a rank D evolved. Young Master Chu. A brawl in my shop, that's crossing the line. Seizing the chance, Su Sheng immediately pointed the finger at Li Yi. That filthy miner shattered young Master Chu's precious blade. That's why he had to act. Boss Wang's brows furrowed deeply. A mere miner. Instantly siding with Chu Ding, he asked. Did your blade truly shatter the young master's weapon? Li Yi smirked, his eyes cold and confident. He swung first. Is it my fault his toy was so fragile? Wang put on a facade of fairness while leaning in to whisper a secret. Is that how it went? Young master, he didn't miss the chance to scheme behind the scenes. That kid's sword is no ordinary blade. Let's use the old rules. Familiar with such dirty deals? Chu Ding agreed instantly. Good. Money for me. The goods for you. With the pact sealed, Wang finally showed his venomous fangs. Fine. Since young Master Chu trusts me, I shall act as the mediator here. Turning to Li Yi with a fake smile, he asked, Young man, would you mind letting me inspect your blade? Li Yi handed over the black gold sword without a word. Wang's smugness vanished as he felt the crushing weight, even as an evolved. He struggled to keep the blade steady. Who exactly was this boy? This thing weighs hundreds of pounds. Yet he wields it like a feather. Is he an evolved too? I must test him. He dropped all pretenses and demanded an answer. Where did a lowly miner like you get such a weapon? But Li Yi was not one to be intimidated. Since when does the black market ask for identities and origins? Are we changing the rules? The response didn't rattle Wang. Just curious. He replied smoothly. But if you want say. That's fine. Li Yi saw through the probe. To keep his cover, he put on an air of nonchalance. I found it while digging in the mines. Wang believed him instantly. Typical. Just a lucky lowlife. With the truth confirmed, Wang prepared to rip the boy off to the bone. It's sturdy. Sure. But no attributes. It's worth a few $100 at best. But young Master Chu's blade. If it weren't broken, it would be worth over 2 million. The merchant's heart was as black as his market. Look. Being a miner isn't easy. So I'll be generous. I'll take this old sword. You pay 2 million to the young master. And I'll cover the rest. He spoke as if he were a saint. Waiting for Li Yi to bow. Consider this a favor from me. What do you say? Young Master Chu, knowing the plan. Chu Ding smirked. Since Boss Wang stepped in. Fine. But Su Xing, clueless and greedy, grew even more frustrated. Wait, how can a pathetic miner have 2 million? You promised to buy me things. Remember, Chu showed his vilest side. Don't worry. Selling his organs should fetch the 2 million? She grinned with delight. Li Yi watched the circus end. You people certainly know how to calculate your greed. Wang's face darkened. Oh, you have an objection. A chilling, murderous aura began to bleed from Li Yi's silhouette. Ha ha. Enjoy this moment while you still can. The shadows surged. An overwhelming pressure crushing the room. Li Yi's true power had finally surfaced. Because I am not the one who should be worried. On command. The thugs lunged forward to cripple him. Wang turned casually to the young master. Violence is so uncivilized. Let's have some tea and wait. Chu sneered. Good idea. Suddenly, a body flew past them like a broken doll. Wang barked. Biao, be careful, you'll break things this kid can afford to pay back. But the tide hadn't turned. Li Yi stood tall. Sending enemies to their graves with a single kick, a thug was sent hurtling toward young Master Chu. Annoyed, he kicked the man back into the fray. I guess all that digging actually built some decent muscle after all. The insults flew. But Li Yi's patience had snapped. He wanted to send this trash to hell right now. Your turn. The woman beside Chu nearly fainted from pure terror. Since when did this miner become such a monster? Chu Ding's face twisted in arrogant fury. Your skills are decent enough to crush a few weaklings. He sneered with arrogance. But against a D-rank awakener, you were nothing but trash. He lunged forward like a lethal missile. Yet, Li Yat's reflexes were faster than Chu's primitive brain. A thunderous slap sent the man flying. Young Master Chu skidded to a halt. Lightning crackling in his palm as he screamed in fury. Even my father has never dared to strike my face. How dare a cockroach like you? I'll kill you. He hurled a lightning bolt. But Li Yat effortlessly absorbed the entire surge of energy. Chu froze in pure disbelief. It was as if he had struck an invisible, unbreakable fortress, without uttering a single word. Li Yat began a slow, terrifying advance toward his trembling prey. Since your father failed to raise you, I'll teach you some manners. Chu whimpered in absolute terror. His mistress kept whining. Master Ding, aren't you a D-rank elite? How can a miner do this? Li Yat unleashed his shadow bind technique. Coiling dark, suffocating tendrils around the arrogant noble. The woman shrieked in horror. Chu gasped, his pride completely shattered by the overwhelming power. You no miner. Are you C-rank? Or perhaps even a B-rank monster? E-rank miner. Certified. Li Yat replied coldly. Chu screamed in denial as a shadow loomed over him. Wait, I'm with the Black Panthers, touch me, and Boss Bao will hunt you to the grave. Li Yat's eyes turned ice cold. The Black Panthers. Those parasitic loan sharks who bleed the poor dry. Black Panthers. Boss Bao. He rained down devastating blows until the woman fled in sheer panic. With a final, brutal kick, Li Yat sent him crashing into his mistress, pinning them to the dirt. Chu coughed up a spray of crimson, his life flashing before his very eyes. I despise parasites like you most. Suddenly, Duke Fat charged from the shadows with a desperate strike. A burst of raw killing intent sent the attacker flying back. Begone, Li Yat roared. Seeing his backup defeated, Chu threw away his dignity and knelt. begging for his miserable life. A misunderstanding. I have 100,000, please. Let's just be friends, and forget today. Lee loomed over him like a god of death. Is your thick skin only worth a pittance? 500,000 no. 1,000,000 Chu wailed. Lee hoisted him up like a broken doll. You love high interest. Don't you let's calculate your debt by your own cruel standards. The slaps were just interest. Now for the principal. 50 million. Chu desperately offered a black card. 5 million. It is all I have, please. Tell me this is enough. Lee paused. An NG Group VIP card. These thugs were just debt collectors for them. He decided to release Chu Ding. A small fish to lure the giant snake out of hiding. Lee let him go. After years of exploitation. This was merely a long overdue refund. Chu collapsed. Gasping for air like a fish out of water. Desperately clutching onto his life, the mistress hurried over to support him. Young master. Are you all right? Please speak to me. He staggered up. Seething with hatred. You said he was just a pathetic, weak miner. She stammered in fear. I don't understand how he became such a monster overnight either. Chu struck her across the face. If you hadn't lied, I wouldn't have been caught off guard. He grabbed his phone. Eyes burning with malice. You'll pay for this. Just you wait. Brat. Elsewhere. Amidst a sea of cold corpses. The terrifying Boss Bao finally answered his phone. Boss Bao. You must help me. A thief stole the treasure I meant for you. He even threatened to wipe out our entire gang. Murderous intent instantly filled the dark room. Send me his details. The boss growled. A red-haired subordinate stepped forward to ask for orders. The goods are yours. Boss. But what should we do with these? People Bao's gaze remained frozen. Are there even humans here? The subordinate smiled. Shredding the bodies with blood-red silk threads. Go. Bao commanded. Chu Ding's target is yours. Dead or alive. It makes no difference. System update. Shadow Knowledge Repository. Updated with new intelligence regarding the NG Group. A shadow looms over the tragedy of Li Yi's parents, a massive global corporation. They're ruthless debt collectors. The Black Panther Gang. Now hunt him down. This predatory syndicate is hell-bent on squeezing every cent from him. The following dawn. Li Yi arrives at the mission hall. Seeking a way out, a staff member approaches with a professional yet hollow smile. Can I assist you with something today? Rank E Awakener. He replies calmly. Searching for a suitable mission. Nearby hunters overhear and erupt in mockery. Their faces twisted with pure disdain. Did this E-rank trash lose his way? Even the easiest hunt here is rank D. Are you seeking a death wish? This is hilarious. A mere rank E dares to speak so boldly, truly shameless. Your kind survives only on the crumbs we deign to leave behind. To them, he is nothing more than a loathsome parasite. Sensing the shifting tide, the clerk joins the crowd. Sneering at Li Yi with cold contempt, step outside. E-ranks wait by the entrance. If a team is desperate enough for a meat shield, they might pick you. The room explodes with cruel laughter. That's right, go wait by the dumpster. Trash belongs exactly where the garbage is kept. Li Yi remains a sea of tranquility amidst their insults. His focus solely on the task at hand, glancing at his drained balance. He sighs. 5 million vanished instantly into the pockets of those loan shark vultures. Finding a mission is now a matter of survival. Suddenly, heavy footsteps echo through the hall, carrying a pressure so suffocating that the air itself turns frozen. The atmosphere turns leaden. This overwhelming aura. It has to be at least a B-rank hunter. So this is the power of a B-rank, the sheer weight of it. I can barely take a single step forward. The source of this chilling power is Qin Sayan, the prestigious heiress of the Qin family. As she passes, whispers erupt. Why would a B-rank grace this lowly hall? While others tremble, Li Yi's spirit remains unshakable. He stands tall, his inner resolve masking a hidden, formidable gale. She appears like a fragile noblewoman, elegant and poised, with not a single trace of bloodlust visible on the surface. Could she be masking her killing intent, to be so flamboyantly powerful yet perfectly restrained? She is a walking contradiction. Her butler's voice cuts through the silence. D-rank abyss. We need an E-rank miner. Any volunteers? Seizing the chance. Li Yi steps out. The crowd gasps in disbelief. Is that E-rank brat insane? How is he even standing? How can he be so calm under B-rank pressure? My knees are shaking uncontrollably. Yet he hasn't even flinched. An E-rank should be kneeling in the dirt. Yet he moves with ease. Li Yi smirks with cold confidence. Looks like I'm your man. Xian's eyes narrow with curiosity as she inspects him. A simple miner. unmoved by my aura. How very intriguing. Seeing a golden opportunity. The sycophant clerk rushes forward, desperate to please the wealthy guest. Great lady of the Qin family, we have plenty of elite D-rank hunters available. Allow me to show you the true experts. She dismisses him with a sharp wave, her finger pointing directly at Li Yi. No need. I choose him. Stunned. The clerk stammers. But he was late and hasn't even registered. This goes against every protocol we have. Cyan's gaze turns predatory, her voice cold as ice. I am the protocol. I said he's the one. Do you have an issue? The clerk instantly bows. Defeated. Understood. The butler opens the door with a low bow. This way. My lady. As they depart, the clerk stares at Li Yi's back, his mind racing with frantic questions about the boy's true identity. For the Qin heiress to handpick a lowly minor is unheard of. Moments later, the party vanishes into the swirling depths of the gate. Among them is a bard, his whistle carrying a haunting, magical melody. Wherever he goes, monsters erupt into clouds of gore, a terrifying display of power. Li Yi observes silently, noting the team's perfect balance of damage and support. Their synergy is flawless, anchored by a B-rank powerhouse. On the surface, this mission seems like a walk in the park. However, a seed of doubt begins to take root in Li Yi's mind. The beasts prowling these shadows are far beyond D-rank standards. Are these experts truly blind to the looming danger? Jing Tian's voice echoes in his soul. Your shadow eye has reached stage 2. Your perception now dwarfs these mere children. Li Yi muses. If the others are oblivious, fine. But that rich heiress, she must have sensed something. Is she hiding the truth for some hidden agenda, my lady? A voice calls out, breaking his train of thought. Liu Dangsap approaches Si Yin with a report. The star glow crystals you seek are located just ahead in the inner chamber. She beckons Li Yi with a flick of her wrist. Minor. Follow me. He obeys, though his irritation simmers beneath the surface. Unbelievable. She knows it's a death trap. Yet, she sends a fragile minor in first. How ruthless. As they venture deeper, the stench of death grows thick. The aura of impending doom is now impossible to ignore. Does she truly view her subordinates as disposable? Or is her B-rank arrogance so great she believes she can shield them all? Just as he takes another step, the very earth beneath them shatters and gives way. Li Yi and Si Yin plunged into the abyss. Before them stood a rank D minotaur, its gaze murderous. Seeing the beast, Si Yin drew her blade. Li Yi waited. Would this rank B awakener finally show her power? Her aura flared with immense pressure. Yet beneath her majestic front, she was trembling with pure terror. Suddenly, she retreated. Minor. You go first, I will provide support. Her words left him utterly baffled. I am just a minor, he argued. Si Yin, paralyzed by fear, knelt and begged for his protection. Just go. Li Yi tried to pull away. You are rank B, why force an E-rank minor to lead? He muttered to himself. Why risk my life for a measly minor's salary? 1 million yuan, she cried, instantly turning into a helpless kitten. Please. Just take them out. For that price. Li Yi could not refuse. He manifested his energy into 2 razor-sharp daggers. He stepped forward, determined to protect his prize money at any cost. The monsters charged, but their bloodlust was aimed solely at Si Yin. She froze, screaming in desperation. My 1 million yuan. Suddenly, a violent shockwave erupted from her, blasting the beast's back. Li Yi was stunned. She had a trump card all along. He had worried for nothing. Even then, the beasts lunged again. Li Yi moved like lightning, cleaving a monster in 2. Why do they hate you so much? He asked. You are like a magnet for monster aggro. Before she could respond, she bolted. I am leaving the rest to you. Good luck. Speechless, Li Yi could only sigh. He turned back to finish off the remaining minotaurs. Far away, Si Yin stopped to breathe. Surely, she was safe from the carnage now, but a shadow loomed. A minotaur had stalked her. Her legs turned to jelly as she backed away. Why aren't you afraid of me? The beast roared, raising its weapon for a crushing blow. Nearby, Li Yi watched. He could not understand her strange behavior. She clearly possessed the power to counterattack. Why was she acting so terrified? Suddenly, her bracelet pulsed with energy, forming a shield that hurled the beast toward Li Yi. He dodged the flying monster. As the bracelet shattered, he realized it was a defensive artifact. Wait. Are you a non-combat awakener? Li Yi asked. Her secret was finally out. Si Yin nodded sheepishly. Promise me. You will keep this a secret once we are out. Li Yi schmirked. Keeping secrets like that will definitely cost you extra. Still. He wondered. Why were these beasts obsessed with hunting her down? He activated level 2 shadow eyes. A hidden figure was manipulating everything from the shadows. The monsters were being driven by strange, invisible waves. They were merely puppets. Danger closed in again. Hey. Mr. Minor, help me, she screamed in panic, bound by the 1 million yuan promise. Li Yi decapitated another demon with cold precision. Damn it. More beasts were gathering. To avoid hurting Si Yin, he held back. He could not use large-scale skills yet. If this continued, exhaustion would kill them both. If she was the target, he summoned chains from the ground. Deciding to bait the enemy, your shields are gone. You are defenseless, he warned. Be careful of a sudden ambush. Si Yin blushed in embarrassment. Did he really have to point out her helplessness? As Li Yi fought, a sinister shadow emerged behind them, clutching a jagged blade. A mere minor. Almost ruined my perfect masterpiece. The assassin hissed, a non-combatant, with no protection. I will send you to the afterlife myself. Blame your father's arrogance. Si Yin. He raised his blade for the kill. Blood sprayed. But it was not her neck. The assassin's own arm was sliced open. The man was Liu Deng. He used ultrasonic waves to control the beasts like toys. Rank D controller. Bard class Liu Deng. He sneered. Frustrated by a simple minor. I was careless. He growled. But do not think you have won this battle yet. He begins siphoning the fallen demonic corpses into his own flesh, all to birth a beast with god-tier power. Behold the terror of a Class C controller. Li Yi tenses. This aura is overwhelming. Liu Deng is siphoning the very life force of the beastmen to fuel his ascension. Suddenly, the ground turns to molten slag. Could he be evolving into a Class C lava minotaur? Li Yi gulps. Jumping from Class D straight to C, this guy has better cheats than I do. Sacrificing his humanity. Liu Deng becomes a molten nightmare. 2 Class D prey stand no chance against this rank gap. Li Yi is forced to conjure a desperate shield against Liu Deng's lethal strike. His barrier is melting. This is the raw destructive power of Class C. We're hopelessly outmatched. Seeing the blood, Si Yin screams in a panic. You were hurt. The onslaught doesn't stop. Liu Deng is determined to send both of them to their graves. Knowing the tide has turned, he grabs her hand. Hold on tight, they bolt at full speed. As the massive axe descends, Li Yi fires a binding chain, paralyzing the beast for a fleeting second. You have control skills too, she gasps. It won't hold him for long, we need to move. Now, once we hit the maze. Run straight and don't look back, he barks. But what about you? I'll be the decoy. It's the only way you will make it out alive. Reaching the maze entrance, Li Yi stops dead. Minor, she cries out. Trembling with worry, he turns with a gaze of absolute steel. Hide well. I'll come find you soon. It looks like a heroic parting. But he's just protecting his investment. She's worth 1 million yuan. After all, System Alert Shadow Library updated. Beast Abyss, the realm of the monster tribes. Data detected Class D Minotaurs and Class C Lava Lords. Right now, Liu Deng is a bull seeing red. Damn it. Where are they? Li Yi smirks from a safe ledge. Looking for someone. Big guy. Where is she? Liu Deng roars. His obsession bordering on primal madness. The axe swings wildly. But Li Yi is a blur. Dancing through the carnage with ease. Why don't you guess? He slips behind the beast and strikes the leg. But it's like hitting solid rock. Not even a scratch, idiot Liu Deng mocks. Trying to cut through stone with a toothpick, he unleashes a relentless barrage of strikes, giving Li Yi zero room to breathe or recover. The lava zone is too massive. Li Yi analyzes. I have to lure this rat into the open. Reaching the perfect spot. Li Yi stops. Is running all you were good at? Coward the beast goads. Skill activated shadow eye. Every monster has a weakness. I just have to find the gap. Die. Liu Deng drops to all fours, charging forward like a runaway freight train. Li Yi dodges with the grace of a professional matador. The beast misses and howls in pure frustration. There it is, an energy core on its back. He blinks forward. Heavy sword raised for the kill, but the beast predicts him. He swings a massive fist. Did you think I was blind? Tricks mean nothing before absolute power. One punch sends Li Yi crashing into the distant stone wall. He gasps for air. This strength? So this is Class C. No more running for you. Li Yi readies a shadow bind. Biding his time. Giving up already, Liu Deng sneers. Closing in. A dagger. Pathetic. The massive axe comes whistling through the air once more. That toothpick won't even tickle me. Li Yi focuses his energy into a blade. Waiting for the window. Now he leaps behind the beast, but just as he's about to strike. What the? The heat is agonizing. Even shadow energy can buffer this searing. Hellish temperature. The core seals and erupts in flames. Li Yi retreats. This bastard is smarter than he looks. You actually found my weak spot. You were sharper than the others. But it's useless. That core burns at 2,000 degrees. Now, where is she? Tell me. And I might spare you. Li Yi lets out a cold laugh. As if I trust a traitor. Enraged. The beast roars, then die. Take this axe and stay still, if you've got the guts. Li Dat chants the ancient mantra. Shadows manifest into a scythe, unleashing dark blades toward his foe. Taunting me. You aren't even dodging. Seizing the moment. He binds the enemy with shadow-formed ropes. The darkness slithers behind, targeting Lu Dang's core. But the extreme heat melts his skill instantly. The giant laughs. Useless Li Dat clicks his tongue. This is becoming a real pain. With a roar, he swings again, relying on pure instinct. Li Dat narrowly leaps away from the strike. Shadow energy is draining fast. Is he forced to rely on 𝐾𝐞𝐿's power again? No. He refuses to surrender his body. Even if he dies, he won't let 𝐾𝐞𝐿 take control again. Besides, taking down this C-rank monster will grant massive experience points. He can't waste this. Springing off the beast's head, he drives a powerful kick straight toward the core. He refuses to fail, condensing his power into a spear. He plunges downward with lethal force. Success. His spear pierces the core just before the giantess hand can crush his fragile body. Lu Dang screams. Near death. Berserker Rage activates. Attack. Critical. And speed all boost by 200%. A shockwave blasts Li Dat into the cliffside. He coughs up blood. Why the sudden surge in power? The burning heat is agonizing. Lu Dang roars. A lowly miner dares to push me this far. This is the end, he mocks. Suddenly, Li Dat's vision begins to swirl and distort. A surge of shadow energy, far greater than before, erupts from deep within his soul. 𝐾𝐞𝐿 explains. This power was always there, dormant within your very being. Boy, but only this extreme heat could forge your body and draw the shadows out. By pure luck, you've unlocked a new evolution of shadow energy. Witness it. Li Dat stares at his hands. The dark aura is rapidly mending his broken body. System alert. Skill awakened. Shadow empowerment. Level 1. It's more than just simple healing. Lu Dang flinches. Impossible. How can a mere brat recover from those injuries so fast? The boy's presence has turned sinister. Lu Dang knows he must strike now, or lose everything. He brings his axe down with crushing force. But Li Dat vanishes into the darkness. How can he keep up with my tripled speed? Lu Dang's confidence begins to crumble. Is he really just E-rank enraged? He vows to drown the entire cave in lava. Nowhere to hide. Facing the wall of fire, Li Dat stands his ground. Unfazed and immovable as a mountain. Lu Dang sneers. Die. Let the magma burn your very existence into nothing but ash. But something is wrong. Li Dat doesn't dodge. He takes the hit head-on. Completely unscathed. Shadow empowerment is incredible. If level 1 is this strong, what lies at the peak? Your little stove is getting cold. Li Dat taunts. Terror finally grips the giant's heart. No. Stay back. Li Dat steps forward. You enjoyed swinging that axe, didn't you? Now, it's my turn. He points his blade with a cold, predatory smile. They collide. Li Dat switches to dual daggers, shredding the giant's stone arm into rubble. Attack. Defense. And speed all up 200%. Lu Dang gazes in absolute horror. Maddened. The monster tries to grab him. But Li Dat is like a ghost in the dark. I am the protagonist here. You bastard, he yells. Testing his new limits, he channels energy into his daggers. A cross slash sends a wave of shadow tearing through the air. Both of Lu Dang's arms fall. But he uses the surrounding magma to regenerate new limbs instantly, as long as there's lava. I am immortal. Your attacks are futile. Li Dat narrows his eyes. Immortal? I doubt it. Your mana signature is fading fast. Shut up, try me again, Lu Dang screams in desperate. Final denial. He swings wildly. But Li Dat reads every move. Again. And again. And again. No matter the effort. He can touch him. His stone hands begin to shrink and crumble. Your energy has hit 0. Li Dat declares. The once mighty giant now cowers like a beaten dog. Wait, we don't have a personal grudge. Is it really worth throwing your life away like this? Perhaps not. But with 1,000,000 credits on the line. Li Yi isn't about to walk away. Tan Si-yin paid me a fortune to ensure her safety. Now. The trader was desperately begging. Hand her over to me. Once we reach the city, I'll pay you 5 million instead of 1. He let out a cold, mocking laugh. And what is to stop you from betraying me once we arrive? You'd likely send your men to finish me off and keep the cash. Liu Dang pleaded frantically. Never, I'm not a man who breaks his word. But you did just remind me of something. Li Yi smirked. Handing a traitor like you to her father, Tan Xiaoshang, would be far more interesting. Saving the young miss of the legendary Longmon clan. Exposing a mole and gaining a favor from the Triple Street Lord is worth more than gold. Realizing there was no escape, terror took hold. Falling into their hands meant a fate worse than death. The organization won't spare my family. If I am going down, I am taking you with me, he revealed a relic. Jing Tian gasped in horror. How could a mere human possess a shard of the Abyssal Gate? If that fragment breaks, our link to the world vanishes. We will all be trapped here for eternity. Seeing his advantage, Liu Dang's voice turned venomous. You are the one who pushed me to this, like a bolt of lightning. A shadow blurred past. Before he could react, the shard was snatched away. Li Yi didn't hesitate for a single second. He lunged forward. Plunging his blade straight into the core, he leaped back as shadows snaked around the body. Dark energy bound the traitor, ensuring he stayed down. As the light finally faded from the traitor's eyes, a glowing crimson essence emerged. All the energy was concentrated here, which is why the others lacked cores. System Skill Evolution Shadow Eye has reached the ultimate rank. Suddenly, the entire cavern began to tremble. Jing Tian urged him to hurry. Without the Guardian's core, the entire realm was losing its stability. The dimension is collapsing. At the exit, the other hunters were catching their breath. Still in shock, the earthquake inside was terrifying. We are lucky to have escaped that nightmare with our lives. Si-yin's gaze locked onto Li Yi in amazement. Your power. It is far beyond any rank E hunter. Join the Longmon clan. My father rewards talent. But he merely turned away, keeping his distance. I have no interest in joining any factions yet. And as for my true strength, please keep it a secret. She sighed and handed over the payment. Fine. Just consider our offer. Here is your 1 million. It is yours. He accepted it with a satisfied grin. How generous. Thanks. He suddenly remembered the heavy greatsword he had found. Does your clan have any use for this? She examined the weapon carefully. It lacks mana flow, but the material itself is quite extraordinary. I'll take it for a professional appraisal first. You will receive every cent you deserve. I promise. I'll be waiting for the news then. As he walked home, he realized she knew her weapons well. If she recognizes its value, Ivy found a steady buyer. Either way, that million is already a win. The mission was a success. Once home, Li Yi carefully examined the mysterious abyssal relic. What exactly is this shard of the Abyssal Gate, and why is it so incredibly important? Jing Tian appeared, his voice heavy. With enough fragments, I can help you reach S rank or higher. He stared at the shard, his mind racing. Could I really attain such legendary god-like power? Jing Tian grew silent. The shards are reappearing. Are they times active again? I must train this boy quickly. One day, he will face entities that defy human logic. Creatures that could destroy entire civilizations. Should I tell him no? It's too soon. Fear would only hold him back. He must grow stronger first. Status update rank D. Skills Shadow Treasury, Abyssal Knowledge, and Shadow Mimicry are now fully active. With his ultimate eye and shadow fortification, Li Yi loomed over the rank E facility the next night. The mine is under lockdown after the disaster. 1 rank B and 3 rank C guards are on duty. He narrowed his eyes, observing from the shadows. My current power still isn't enough to uncover the truth. Jing Tian interjected. It's just a pathetic E-rank gate. Is it even worth a look? Li Yi's gaze turned cold as he growled. My parents are inside, and the truth they died for. He recalled that arrogant executive slamming cash down. 200,000 credits. NG Group's pity for your loss. Sign the death certificate and take it. What not enough? Li Yi watched, paralyzed by their cold cruelty. I want the truth. The man grabbed his head. Didn't I tell you already? Kid, there was an accident. Your parents and those miners are all dead. That is the only reality. Li Yi exploded in desperate rage. Impossible. They were C-rank awakened. How could they fall to a mere calamity? Guards restrained him. Listen, brat. In the mystery zones, death claims everyone. Even C ranks aren't safe. As the guards dragged Li Yi away like a common criminal, he screamed desperately. But it's only E rank, even the strongest monsters there are, just E rank. A guard tightened his grip. Shut up, Li Yi kept fighting. They should have escaped safely. Seeing his persistence, the guard's temper flared. You just want more money, don't you? Yuri asking for a beating, he raised a fist. But a sudden voice halted the violence. It was Ning Donghao, chairman of NG Group. A legendary A rank awakened. The executive began trembling. Chairman Ning. Donghao glared. I ordered you to comfort the victims' families. Is this your way? The executive's arrogant voice instantly turned into a pathetic, submissive whimper. Enough. Donghao approached Li Yi, kneeling to hand him the compensation. Take this for now. Boy, 200,000 isn't much, but it helps. Li Yi whispered. Keep the money. I want the truth. Donghao offered a faint smile. Fine. We will investigate and give you answers. Li Yi snapped back to reality. I believed his promise. I thought a man like Ning Donghao would bring me justice. Instead, they branded my parents as thieves and sent me a bill for millions in damages. Jing Tian, now in his small energy-saving form, finally spoke up. In any world, if you lack power, you'll be crushed under the boots of the strong. Stop staring blankly. Focus on gathering dimensional gate fragments instead of wasting tears. Once you possess absolute power, the truth will reveal itself with just a single word from you. System notifications flickered the dark inner thoughts of other entities. Did he really need to remind me? If my shadow energy wasn't so hard to detect, and if I wasn't stuck as an E-rank minor, I wouldn't be struggling to find a party. This guy flip-flops between stealing my body and helping me level. Is he an ally or an enemy? And why did he shrink? Is his power fading if he's just crazy? Is that S-rank promise a lie? Seeing the mental chat filled with insults against him, Jing Tian roared in fury. That is enough. If you weren't talented, I wouldn't waste my time on you. Li Yi blinked in confusion. I didn't even say anything. Why are you exploding at me? The chat erupted again. He's lost it. Is there any cure for this shadow's insanity? Suddenly, a notification pinged on Li Yi's phone. Jing Tian peeked curiously. A mission request. Scene Shift A, D-rank Chemical Wasteland Gate. A guard barked. Why are you so late? Kid? Sorry. Li Yi replied, masking his exhaustion. He just sprinted across the city from an E-rank zone. Uncle Heck spotted him and called out. Uncle Heck, it's been a long time. Are you on this mission too? The older man smiled warmly. Look at you, you've grown so much. It's been 5 years since your parents. Since the incident. Suddenly, 3 figures emerged from the shadows. Gu Da, 𝐶𝐞𝐿, and Gu San. C-rank mercenaries. We waited for an expert. Not a pathetic minor. The gatekeeper gave a strained laugh. My apologies. Seers. This involves mining. So we didn't want to bother high-level awakened. Gu Da pointed rudely at Li Yi. Stop wasting our time. The mercenary spat. Tell us the mission details already, the gatekeeper explained. This is a D-rank spirit zone. Your goal, secure 60 kilograms of mystic ice ore. Observing the commotion, Li Yi's eyes narrowed. 4 high-level awakened, for a mere D-rank zone. Complete overkill. He sensed their radiating bloodlust. These weren't honorable warriors, they were cold-blooded predators. Shadows stirred as he sensed a hidden C-rank presence. The mysterious mercenary He Zi had also entered the fray. Elsewhere, a red-haired man watched the group through a cold surveillance screen. The toys have finally gathered. He smirked. Now, let the slaughter begin. This was Blood Leopard, the ruthless vice chief. New data confirmed dimensional shards are the keys to the abyss. Energy crystals served as experience packs. The ultimate shortcut for an awakened to transcend their limits. As the squad crossed the threshold into the eerie portal, Uncle He noticed Li Yi lacked gear. Li Yi, should you be wearing a protective suit? I'm an awakened now. Li Yi replied calmly. Gu San scoffed. A minor turned awakened, truly, a rare joke. Gu Dai stepped in, appearing to mediate. But his tongue was even more poisonous. Watch your mouth. Third. After all, he is the undisputed king of the trash heap. Uncle He urged him to stay quiet. Li Yi remained unfazed. Don't worry, Uncle. I won't be impulsive. His focus was elsewhere. The vegetation here had been modified, perfectly designed for a lethal ambush. The air grew heavy with hidden killing intent. Someone was watching from the dark. A shadow flickered past. Li Yi played it cool. Waiting to see if they'd finally lose patience, he glanced at the C-rank mercenary. Was he scouting the shadows? Or plotting a betrayal? 𝐲𝐡 barked. Hey. You useless trash, move it. Stop lagging behind. 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 hurried. But Li Yi had a plan. He'd let these arrogant fools walk into the trap first. He needed to distance himself to observe the true threat from the shadows, grabbing 𝐓𝐡𝐲's wrist. He shouted. Hold tight, they vanished instantly, leaving the others in shock. What the hell? How can a mere miner move with that kind of speed? 𝐲𝐻 stopped them from chasing. Let them go. Those rats are just running toward their own graves. Perched above. Blood Leopard licked his lips. Running, or did you finally sense the end? Good. If everyone was as brainless as those three, this game would be far too boring. 𝐶𝐞𝐟𝐭 shivered. Brother. Something's wrong. I felt eyes on us since we stepped inside. Stop being paranoid. 𝐷𝐻 snapped. We re-C-rank elites. This is just a simple D-rank zone. 𝐷𝐻 sniffed the air. The metallic scent of blood was everywhere. Brother. Wait. I have a bad feeling. It's freezing in here. Maybe we should turn back. 𝐷𝐻 lost his temper. Not you two, stop acting like a pathetic coward. Suddenly, a crimson wind howled. Blood Leopard descended, ensnaring 𝐷𝐻 in razor-sharp blood wires. The fun just started. Why leave so soon? 𝐷𝐻 gasped in pure agony. Blood. Blood Leopard. 𝐶𝐞𝐟 screamed. Let him go, name your price. Leopard, we can talk. 𝐷𝐻 sobbed as the wires bit into his flesh. Save me, but the leopard only grinned. Talk. After your brothers kept crossing my gang, there's nothing left to say. With a violent jerk, the wires shredded 𝐷𝐻 into mist. Words were useless against such power. I'll kill you, 𝐸 charged blindly. 𝐷𝐻 tried to hold him back. But it was futile. The blood wires lashed out again, binding 𝐸's limbs like a fly caught in a web. Kill me. You aren't even worthy of being my prey. He pulled. And 𝐸 was instantly erased, seeing his brothers slaughtered. 𝐷𝐻 turned and fled in terror. Blood Leopard laughed like a madman. Run. The taste of fear makes the hunt so much sweeter. Meanwhile, Li Yi found a clearing. 𝐓𝐴. Let's take a breather here. We're safe for now. Confused, the old man asked. Why did we abandon them? Li Yi looked him in the eye. Who have you offended? I, and just a simple miner. He stammered. Who could I possibly have angered? Li Yi's expression darkened. Because this isn't a mission. It's a death trap meant to bury us all. A cold shiver ran down the old man's spine. Please. Don't scare me like that. Tell me the truth, he pressed. Meanwhile, 𝐸 escaped, only to run straight into Li Yi. He stormed out, fuming. You damn bastard, you knew something was wrong all along and kept quiet. You let my brothers die, Li Yi smirked. You're not useless after all. You lured the mastermind out. What the hell are you talking about? He barked. Li Yi stared coldly. I am saying, your time is up. Li Yi's eyes narrowed. Suddenly, the blood leopard appeared. He snared 𝐸 in an instant. Since when? He eyed Li Yi with wicked curiosity. Who knew a lowly miner could be this entertaining? Li Yi activated his shadow eye immediately. The predator descended. After 𝐸 fell, 𝐓𝐴 recoiled in terror. Lord Blood Leopard. Please, the old man begged. I beg of you. Have mercy on us. We just miners. We have no quarrel with you. But the leopard only grinned, targeting only Li Yi. We had no beef. But your drunken slip-up revealed everything. You were the fish that got away. Aren't you? The system interface flickered into view. Target human. Weakness identified. Rank C. Skill Blood Spider Silk. High-frequency vibration cutting. Range 10 meters. 𝐓𝐴 shook with fear. I'll stay quiet. I swear I won't tell a soul. The leopard sneered. I only believe in one absolute truth. The dead tell no tales. Crimson threads lashed out. Watch out, Li Yi screamed. But he was too slow to stop the strike. The old man collapsed, clutching his shoulder. Damn you, Li Yi lunged forward. And the fierce duel began. Steel clashed, not bad for a miner. The leopard hissed. No wonder you managed to kill Qiu-Din. A suffocating aura exploded from him. But Qiu-Din was just a weakling compared to me. He manipulated the blood threads, raining down a lethal barrage. Li Yi endured, triggering an even more violent assault. If you're eager to die, I'll oblige. Li Yi activated shadow reinforcement, desperate to block the lethal strikes. But even his new power wasn't enough to stop the onslaught. Shadow power failed, the leopard roared, his razor-sharp claws tearing through Li Yi's defense, sending him flying. Li Yi, the uncle cried out. Stay back, Li Yi coughed. Don't come any closer. Direct combat was suicide. He needed a new plan. And he needed it fast. The leopard licked the blood from his claws. Don't worry. You were both dying today. Don't count your chickens, Li Yi snarled. Shadow Eye Ultimate Form Shadow Dagger. Fire. The villain deflected it easily. Is that all? Li Yi smirked. I am just getting started. Li Yi lunged for a blind spot. But the leopard saw through it. Clever. But you were still just rank E. With a flick. The shadow dagger shattered. Sensing an opening. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 finally made his move. He burst from the earth. Die. You monster. He coiled around the leopard like a python. So you finally showed yourself. Too bad your skill is your greatest weakness. Close quarters is my domain. Blood threads instantly enveloped 𝐶𝐞𝐲 before he could even react. What a horrific scream echoed as the leopard tore him to shreds. Rot in hell. Li Yi froze. A rank C. Killed just like that, uncle. We have to go. Now. He's too strong. We must retreat. They bolted. But the leopard snarled. You think you can escape. As dusk fell. Shadows stretched across the desolate landscape, hiding in the shadows. Li Yi whispered. Rest here. I'll patch you up. Then we move at nightfall. The old man sighed. Pushing Li Yi away. Just leave me. I'll only slow you down. Tell me the truth. Uncle, why is he hunting you? After a long silence, the old man spoke. Because. I know the truth. I know what really happened to your parents. Rage surged through Li Yi. What did you say? He grabbed the old man. Tell me everything. Uncle, he looked away. I wasn't sure before. But their attempt on my life proves the conspiracy. It all started back then. Just before that fatal accident at the mine, your father suspected illegal experiments. Then came the crash. And they framed your parents for theft. Li Yi grabbed his collar. Eyes burning with fury. Why did you hide the truth back then? Uncle 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 collapsed in tears. Overcome by guilt? I failed your parents. But I was just a minor. I couldn't lose my livelihood. I had a family to feed. Li Yi shoved him away. His voice trembling. So you let my parents die in disgrace for a paycheck. The guilt ate me alive. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 sobbed. I drank to forget. But my drunken ramblings led them straight to me. Uncle, before Li Yi could react. The blood leopard struck from the shadows. Shredding everything in its path. Mortally wounded. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 gasped for air. His eyes pleading for a forgiveness he didn't deserve before falling. Forgive me. Li Yi. He whispered. The blood leopard stepped forward. Having heard every word of their confession. No wonder you look familiar. The villain sneered. Those rank C losers, brat, let's reunite you with them in hell. With a sadistic grin. He lunged. Li Yi didn't flinch. Meeting the monster head-on with pure desperation. Steel clashed in a lethal dance. But the blood leopard was a predator. Slowly carving into Li Yi's flesh. How does it feel? He mocked. Watching your own blood spray. Isn't it exhilarating? Li Yi gritted his teeth through the pain. Your blood threads aren't invincible. Shadow manifestation greatsword. A massive blade materialized. He knew the predator strike was its only moment of weakness. Break for me. The shadow blade cleaved through the crimson threads. What startled by the sudden counter? The villain recoiled. Sacrificing your body to land a hit, ruthless. He hissed. Li Yi collapsed. Blood soaking his mangled shoulder. Damn it. Is this my limit? Li Yi gasped. The villain laughed. Just a bluff after all, you actually scared me. Hundreds of blood needles targeted the boy. If you weren't a pathetic rank E, I might have been worried. Now. Die. The threads bound Li Yi tight. Leaving no room to breathe. What's with that look? Trying to kill me with a stare. I love it when small fries struggle against their inevitable doom. This guy was a total psycho. To make your despair even sweeter. I'll let you in on a little secret. He leaned in close. That old man was only half right. Your parents didn't die in some mining accident. He tightened his grip on Li Yi's throat. I was the one who personally slaughtered them both. Li Yi's mind fractured. Pure, unadulterated rage exploded within him. His glare turning predatory and terrifying. Yes, that's it. Your father looked at me the same way while I gutted your mother. He watched her fall apart. Piece by piece. Li Yi didn't scream. He just whispered. Blood leopard. Suddenly, the blood threads burst into black flames. My threads. They re-disintegrating. What is this power? You monster! Li Yi's power surged uncontrollably. Fueled by the agonizing loss he hated most, he forced his heavy legs forward. A calm facade, masking the chaotic storm, raging in his soul. With the system's power resonating, Li Yi became a demon. I am going to kill you. The blood leopard had finally crossed the line. Awakening the sleeping giant, within Li Yi, the air vibrated with killing intent. Before him stood a transformed Li Yi, radiating an overwhelming, dark pressure. The villain marveled at the massive shadow. So he's using hatred to ignite his latent darkness. Suddenly, the system interface flickered to life. Alert: massive surge in dark energy detected. Adjusting rank. Calibration complete. New level attained. Darkness enhancement, level 2. New skill unlocked, shadow merge. Travel freely through the abyss. The villain froze. Li Yi's wounds were vanishing. Impossible. His injuries are completely healed already. A healing factor too. The thought of such a powerful prey made his blood boil with excitement. He licked his fingers, eyes wide with madness. Yes. This is what I've been waiting for. He unleashed a storm of lethal threads. A struggling prey makes the kill so much sweeter. Li Yi stood tall, his presence cold and arrogant. A prey, you say? It was time to test his new power. In a literal heartbeat, Li Yi vanished, reappearing behind the villain. In the shadows. You are the one being hunted. Confusion turned to fear. How could this brat's power explode so exponentially in seconds? Still, his ego wouldn't let him back down. Fast. But not fast enough. With a violent swing, he forced Li Yi back. Desperately trying to regain control of the battlefield, a gap opened between them. Straining, he roared. Nice try. But you'll need more than that to kill me. Li Yi found his opening. With a sharp, decisive flick of his wrist, shadows detached from his body, morphing into dozens of obsidian blades aimed at the leopard. Then taste this. Shadow Art's phantom blades. It was a mere opening volley. And the villain swatted them away with ease. He sneered, his laughter echoing. Is that it? Your little tricks are useless against me. Suddenly, Li Yi flickered through the shadows, reappearing instantly. He snatched a floating blade from the air and countered. Is that so, Shadow Blink? He used the thrown weapon as a beacon for instant teleportation. Instantly, Li Yi brought the blade down with soul-crushing force. How about this one? But the blood leopard was ready. He intercepted the strike before it could land, without even lifting a finger. He mocked him. Pathetic. Your toys can't touch my absolute defense. Li Yi's eyes narrowed as he vanished again. Leaving the villain completely stunned, he melted into the darkness, only to manifest directly above his enemy's head. A cold voice whispered from above. Who said anything about breaking your defense? Burning with fury, Li Yi roared. You can attack and defend at the same time. Your blood threads are too slow for your reactions. In a flash, he unleashed a flurry of strikes. As his life flickered, the blood leopard coughed up thick, dark crimson, refusing to accept defeat. He screamed. Impossible. This can be happening to me. Bloodied and broken, he collapsed, glaring with pure hatred. He rasped. How could I lose to a mere minor? Li Yi leveled his blade at the man's throat. Talk. What really happened during that mine accident years ago? Even with death looming, the leopard remained defiant, his lips sealed tight. Instead, he spat a curse at Li Yi. Without a word, Li Yi swung his blade. The leopard's arm flew into the air, severed clean. He shrieked in agony. My arm. With his limb on the ground, his strength faded. He could only howl in helpless pain. Li Yi's gaze turned icy. Don't test me, he whispered. My patience is wearing thin. Realizing death was a second away, terror finally broke him. He began to spill the truth. What can you even do? It was all 𝐹𝐴's doing. Your father discovered his illegal experiments. To cover it up, he ordered us to execute your parents and stage the accident. Li Yi's eyes flared with murderous intent as he repeated that name. 𝐹𝐴. Seeing a chance, the leopard sneered. Scared he's NG Group royalty. You would dare, mistakenly thinking he was safe. He shot Li Yi a defiant, smug look. You'd better release me if you know. A sudden silver flash silenced him forever. His head rolled. With the pest eliminated, Li Yi focused on his true prey. He stared at the corpse. None of you will escape my wrath. Some time passed. A torrential downpour washed over the NG Group headquarters like a dark omen. Li Yi watched from the shadows as 𝐹𝐴 and his guards headed for their car. There he was, the man responsible. 𝐹𝐴. I've found you, Jing Tian warned him. Sensing his bloodlust. You reach C rank now. But don't go seeking a death sentence. Li Yi ignored him. His eyes locked onto the luxury vehicle. An A rank awakener is nearby. Jing Tian cautioned. As the car sped off, Li Yi gave chase. Li Yi signaled back. I know. The NG founder. On A rank, Ning Donghao is in that car. He was locked on. His focus solely on the man inside. Relax. I won't strike recklessly here. One might have thought he was ready to kill. But he told Jing Tian that the leopard's words couldn't be fully trusted yet, shadowing the car through the rain. He whispered his cold resolve. I need the truth. Was it just him? Or is the entire NG group stained with my parents' blood? The vehicle finally screeches to a halt outside a massive, sprawling factory. From his vantage point, Li Yi watches. If Ning Donghao is involved, even an A rank won't save him. Blood for blood. Li Yi rank C. Powers Shadow Vault. Shadow Shaping. Ultimate Shadow Eye. And Tier 2 Shadow Augmentation, veiled in shadows. He stalks them silently, monitoring their every move from the darkness. The Black Panther warehouse at midnight. What is Zhao doing here? Inside. The boss barks, careful with that lab equipment. Standing behind him is Zhao, covering his nose in disgust as he questions the man. Is that old miner Hewu dead yet? The boss asks, his expression turning grave. Blood Leopard is missing, and the infernal gate has vanished. Hewu's fate remains a complete mystery. Zhao is stunned. How can this be? Wasn't to Blood Leopard a C rank? The boss can only speculate. He must have fatally underestimated his opponent. 4 C rank awakened were lost. Zhao glares at the massive crates and gives an order. Move this equipment immediately. We cannot risk any more complications or delays. The experiment is at its peak. No mistakes. They begin haggling over their blood-soaked profits. Is the money ready? Li Yi hears everything. The fury within him begins to boil over. Zhao. So it really was you all along. Sensing killing intent, the boss strikes a crate. Who is there? But Li Yi has already vanished. What's wrong? Zhao asks. The boss stares into the void. Was it just an illusion? No. That was definitely bloodlust. Li Yi teleports behind another container. That was a close call. He grits his teeth. Is my C-rank power still not enough to crush these flies? The next morning at Qin Group, President Qin Shao finds Li Yi and probes curiously. Not taking any missions today. Why have you come here? Li Yi whispers his intent, searching for the third fragment. And checking your weapon prices. At reception, a staffer greets him warmly. How can I help you? Sir, Li Yi replies coldly. I'm here to see Qian Xian. Do you have an appointment? Suddenly, a snobbish couple notices him and struts over. The woman sneers instantly. A pathetic, penniless miner, like you, dares to show his face here. And you dare call the young lady by name, it's Su Qing. She clings to her boyfriend's arm. Young Master Qin. This peasant's presence is making the air rot. He scowls and orders Li's removal. Are you deaf? Throw this trash out of my building. The guards surround him immediately. As you wish. Young Master. Li Yi sighs. Is this how the long men treat their guests? The guards laugh in his face. Guests don't make us laugh. You rat. A bottom feeder like you isn't even fit to be a dog for the Qin family. The insults cut deep. But Li Yi's expression turns to ice. Are the Qins always this arrogant? Forget Xian. I am done here. He turns to walk away. I'll take my leave, but the young master's ego is bruised. You think you can just leave, break his legs? Li Yi blurs, using Shadow Shield. He counters every guard before hoisting the young master up by his throat. The woman shrieks in terror. Put him down. The Qin family will hunt you to the ends of the earth. Enraged, Li Yi hurls the young master into the woman, sending them both crashing to the floor. For Xian's sake, I'll let you live today. Li Yi turns to exit. His point made, consumed by humiliation. The young master screams. You're dead. I'll kill you with my own hands. He lunges with a desperate strike. His mind lost to rage. He wants Li Yi buried alive. Before the final blow can land, a booming voice commands. Stop. A man intervenes. A white-haired girl appears behind Li Yi. Her gaze cold enough to freeze the room. You have a lot of nerve causing a riot in the Qin group. The brother crawls toward her. You are finished now. My sister is here. And she won't let you leave in one piece. Disgust fills her eyes as she looks at the mess. Throw him out immediately. She commands. That fool didn't know when to quit. My little sister decided he needed a permanent reminder. So she crushed his limbs like dry twigs, before another word left his lips. An iron grip seized his collar, hoisting him into the air. Stunned, he stammered. Sister. What are you doing? I'm your cousin, he cried. Then that two-faced snake rushed over. her voice dripping with fake innocence as she played the victim. My lady, this lowly miner dared to speak your name. Master Tun was only trying to teach this trash a lesson for your sake. 𝐶𝐞𝐲's eyes flared with killing intent. He is my honored friend if he wants to call me by name. Who are you to stop him? With a cold wave of her hand, she ordered the guards to drag them out. Fire them all, blacklist every single one of these arrogant fools forever. They were hauled off like bags of trash. The woman began to wail, her desperate pleas for mercy echoing through the grand hall. Young Master Tun, save me, I gave you everything, please. Speak up for me, she shrieked, clutching at shadows as she was dragged away. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 shot a disgusted look at her pathetic brother. Young Master Tun, you're more like a stray dog. Change your name to Scum and be done with it. If you ever dare use the Tun name to bully others again, I'll personally ensure you never walk again. He curled up like a beaten mutt. Silenced. In a heartbeat. Her cold fury vanished, replaced by a warm smile for 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲. I didn't expect you so soon, please. Come inside and rest. 𝐶𝐞𝐟𝐭. Lead Nung the way. I apologize. You had to witness our family's dirty laundry. Those distant relatives are truly an embarrassment. 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 didn't give those clowns a second thought. Every great house has a few weeds that need pulling. After all, they reached the private lounge when an attendant suddenly appeared. My lady, the head of the Tun family requests your immediate presence. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 looked apologetic. I'm so sorry. 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲. Please wait here for a moment. I will be right back. Don't worry about me, he replied calmly. They left him alone in the chamber as they hurried to the meeting room. Is it urgent? She asked. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 replied. The master did not say. Only that you must come at once. As soon as he stepped inside, the room sealed tight. Every exit vanished, leaving him trapped in total silence. Then, a sophisticated man stepped from the shadows. His presence was suffocating, radiating a terrifying, crushing pressure. Kid. Who the hell are you? He barked. Instantly, the system kicked in. Scanning the threat. Identification in progress. Race human. Rank A. Skill Eye of Terror. Inflicts paralyzing fear. Skill Raging Thunder. Massive boost to lightning attributes and stats. A. Rank A. Awakener with dual skills. This guy was the real deal, looking at those monstrous stats. 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 showed proper respect. Senior. Surely there is a misunderstanding. I am just a simple miner, he thought to himself. This mental pressure is disgusting. My normal mental fortification barely holds against it. The man watched with keen interest. His eye of terror couldn't find a single crack in the boy's composure. No fear. Nothing. A miner. I doubt it's that simple. Suddenly, he unleashed a tidal wave of destructive power. He struck with the force of a hurricane. But 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 stood his ground, completely unfazed by the assault. What, you tanked my hit to survive that? He had to be at least rank B. Yet he just stood there, taking the blow without a word, fuming at the perceived deception. The man roared. What is your goal? Why are you using a fake identity to get close to 𝐶𝐞𝐲? If you don't talk now, don't blame me for. Suddenly, 𝐶𝐞𝐲 stormed in and grabbed his ear, silencing the legendary 𝐶𝐞𝐟𝐭. Dad, you lured me away just to interrogate my guest. Are you really that bored? She screamed. The mighty warrior shrank instantly. Keep your voice down. Sweetheart, give your old man some face in front of the outsider. A shameless old man like you doesn't deserve face out. Stop bothering my friend. She proceeded to drag her father out like a naughty child. 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 heard the chaos from behind the door and couldn't help but let out a small chuckle. To think, that man is 𝐶𝐞𝐟𝐭, the legendary ruler of the Longmon district. After kicking her father out, she bowed her head. I am so sorry. My father thinks every man near me is a predator with hidden motives. It is fine. He smiled. He is just worried about his daughter being deceived. It is understandable. She looked at him curiously. You seem to understand my father quite well. He scratched his head, avoiding her gaze. It is hard not to. He thought the old man had left. But there he was, clinging to the glass wall like a giant gecko. Spying on them. Is that punk planning something I had her late in life? I can't let some smooth talker steal my little girl away. He's not a blonde delank yet. But who knows? I've raised my princess for 16 years. No one is hurting her. If things get serious, I'll have to. Well, unable to take it. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 shot a death glare toward the window. He was muttering his thoughts loud enough for everyone to hear. 𝐶𝐞𝐟𝐭, she yelled. Get lost already. Once the old man finally retreated, she could finally breathe and talk to 𝐓𝐡𝐞𝐲 in peace. Here is 5 million as a deposit. That great sword is made of rare materials. So the client wants a full appraisal before final pricing, accepting the black card. He asked. One more thing. Do you recognize this? Li Yi produced a mysterious, jagged fragment. She studied it closely before speaking. These nameless dimension shards used to be quite common. She began. But recently, a shadow buyer has been hoarding them, making them nearly impossible to find on the open market. Try the Longmen 3rd Street auction. You might get lucky. Li Yi nodded. Thanks. Jing Tian whispered. Someone is collecting fragments. Could it be times them asterisk? Scene change. The Xiao family butler stood at attention. Reporting. Li Yi. Age 20. Status ordinary commoner. Ranked E, just days ago. But with no detectable energy signature. He's still relegated to the mines. The butler frowned as he scanned the data. His suspicion growing with every line. A jump from E to C rank in mere days. This boy has been masking his true power all along. Suddenly, the sharp ring of a phone shattered the silence. Xiao Shang answered. Old man Huo. What brings you calling today? The voice was urgent. That heavy sword your daughter sent. Is there more? Xiao Shang blinked in confusion. I'm not sure what you mean. Why this sudden interest? Find them, Huo barked. I'll take every last one you have. Xiao chuckled dryly. Eyes narrowing. You old fox. What's so special about that blade that has you this desperate? Huo's voice turned grave. I can't reveal the details over an open line. He countered. But that material. It could revolutionize our entire military's combat strength. Xiao's heart skipped a beat. Mysterious power. Hidden identity. And now legendary weaponry. This Li Yi was becoming a dangerous enigma. Meanwhile, Li Yi was scouting the market. His eyes scanning every stall for a lead. In a place like this, there's bound to be another fragment hidden somewhere, but fate had a different encounter in store. He crossed paths with a familiar nuisance, Chu Ding. A woman clung to Chu Ding's arm. Whining. Young Master Chu. I've cut ties with that chin brat. He wouldn't stop pestering me. I even quit my job just to get away. Chu Ding smirked. Fine. I'll take care of you from now on, she giggled, planting a kiss on his cheek. You re the best. Master Chu. Then, Chu Ding spotted Li Yi. Asterisk. That trash minor times, he thought. His blood beginning to boil. Why is he still breathing? Did blood leopard fail? He sneered aloud. Hey, how did a rat like you sneak in here? Li Yi gave a cold, thin smile. Short memory. Huh. Forgotten the sting of my palm across your face so soon. He unleashed a wave of suffocating killing intent, forcing the bully to stumble back in terror. Don't you dare come closer. Suddenly, a massive, towering shadow loomed behind Chu Ding. A hulking man glared at Li Yi, his presence radiating pure, unadulterated pressure. Boss Leopard Chu Ding cried out. The man stepped forward. Eyes narrowed. Striking my men is the same as spitting on my gang's name. On your knees. Apologize now. Or pay the price in blood. Leopard slammed his palm onto Li Yi's shoulder, unleashing crushing force. But Li Yi didn't budge an inch. In your dreams. The ground cracked beneath them. Yet Li Yi stood firm. You've got some spine, kid. Leopard grunted. Chu Ding kept barking from the sidelines, his voice filled with petty malice. Know your place. Minor. You re nothing compared to the great leopard. Suddenly, the crowd parted. Lady Si Yin approached. Her red silk dress, flowing like a warning. Black leopard. This is Longmen Street. We welcome your money. But we don't tolerate your violence. Her gaze was ice. Pick a fight here. And we'll finish it. Leopard slowly withdrew his crushing hand. Fine. I'll give the Qin family face today. Let's go, the auction is starting. Once they left, Si Yin turned to Li Yi. Are you hurt? Li Yi, I'm in fine, he replied. Meanwhile, Leopard was deep in thought. Asterisk. Who is that brat asterisk? Why are you picking fights with someone like him? He growled at Chu Ding. Chu Ding stammered. He stole the treasure meant for you. He even threatened to wipe out our entire gang. Leopard's grip tightened on Chu Ding's collar. What are you certain of this? The woman chimed in quickly. It's true, I saw everything. Just then, another figure arrived. Looking puzzled. Leopard. What's the issue? Leopard released Chu Ding, staring at Li Yi's retreating back. Asterisk. That kid was a blood leopard target. How is he alive? Asterisk. Asterisk. Could he have actually killed a professional assassin? Times Chu Ding quickly interrupted his thoughts. Impossible, this E-rank loser. Actually standing his ground against the second Yang Master, recognizing the man who ruined his family. Li Yi unleashed a suffocating after. Murderous aura. Shihao shuddered. Wondering how this former piece of trash became linked to Qin Siyin, Li Yi feigned ignorance. Turning to Siyin with a cool gaze. Why the sudden return? She beamed. My father requested an audience. Li felt a chill. Was it a trap? Is he planning to finish me off? Siyin laughed. Relax. He would dare with me here. Shihao glared with pure venom. Well. Fancy seeing my dear nephew in this place. Li Ye smirked. I'm just a lowly debtor. Why would a high-ranking official notice me? Shihao played the saint. Acting as if his hands were clean of the tragedy, the elders decided your parents' fate. I was too low-ranking to help back then. Li Yi scoffed. Washing your hands of it already, you know exactly what really happened? The truth is carved in my heart. He muttered. Besides, Uncle He had a message. Fire cannot be hidden by paper. Sins will find you. The boss roared in fury. This brat needs a lesson, the boss growled. But Shihao hissed. Not in this territory. A dark plot took shape. The boy knew too much. He had to be eliminated. Eliminate him. Shihao ordered. The boss grinned. Consider it done. I'll arrange it now. Siyin escorted Li Yi inside. Father. He's here. Suddenly, the auctioneer's gavel struck the air. Ladies and gentlemen, the grand auction officially begins. Let the fierce bidding start now, Siyin whispered. Speak with my father. I'll alert you when the artifact you need appears. He turned to the titan of industry. Chairman Tian. Why have you summoned me here? Those weapons you gave Siyin. Do you have more? Li Yi's mind began to race. He's desperate for the great firmament clan as relics. Seeking that ancient, legendary power. But I must be smart. Flooding the market is dangerous, and would destroy their value. He adopted a stern gaze. Those were a lucky find. I only have 2 left. 40 million more. 45 total. Xiaoshang offered. Li Yi took a slow sip of tea. 15 million each. You know these weapons are the difference between life and death. State your price. The chairman demanded. Li Yi didn't flinch. 25 million. Père Blad. Xiaoshang froze. Then slammed the table in a rage. You arrogant brat, you dare extort me. Siyin interrupted the tension. Li Yi, the item you've been searching for is finally here. She caught her father's glare and sharpened her tone. Father. Please be civil for once. Fine, I'll transfer 70 million immediately. Siyin then pulled Li Yi toward the main stage. The chairman seethed in silence. Meanwhile, the auctioneer's voice boomed. Starting the frantic bidding. Number 14, 6.5 million. Number 17, 10 million. Number 6, 15 million. There it was. The fragment. With 70 million. This must be mine. Li Yi thought. 30 million, he shouted. A massive leap designed to crush his competition as spirit instantly. Bidder number 9 at 30 million. Does anyone dare to go higher? Any more bids? Shihao's eyes narrowed as he spotted him. Why is that trash bidding on this? 30 million. Twice. Suddenly, Shihao smirked. 50 million. Let's see your pockets. Boy. 50 million from bidder number 2. Li Yi didn't hesitate. 60 million, he roared. Xiaoshang watched from the back, laughing at the sheer audacity of the young man's struggle. That scrap isn't worth it. Don't go broke today. Even Siyin begged him to stop. He's just baiting you. Li Yi. 10 million used to be the absolute ceiling here. Li Yi ignored them. His gaze locked onto Shihao. I will win this battle. Old man. He turned to Xiaoshang. Tell me, is the Qin group really weaker than the NG group? Xiaoshang roared with laughter. We are unmatched. But why on earth should I help you? The auctioneer's voice boomed through the hall. 70 million bidder number 2. Raises the bid to 70 million. Li Yi knew he had to push harder. I have something far better to offer than cash. Old man Qin eyed the summoned blades coldly. These are impressive. But they won't be enough to win this war. Li Yi stepped forward with absolute confidence. Don't worry. President Qin. I have plenty more where those came from. Qin frowned in disbelief. Was this brat really hiding a fortune worth over 70 million in his hands? Siyin suddenly pinched her father's ear. Stop being so stingy. If he can pay, I'll cover it myself. The tycoon was left speechless. 70 million. Twice, Siyin dragged Li Yi toward the stage in a panic. Hurry. Li Yi, that villain is going to steal it. Li Yi could only watch her frantic energy in confusion. The world of the ultra-rich was truly insane. Hundreds of millions were treated like mere pocket change here. He raised his sign high. 100 million bidder, 9 strikes back. 𝐾𝐞𝐲 glared. Coveting that mysterious fragment, this is vital for our corporate secrets. I must have it. 200 million sway, growled with determination. The bidding war intensified. 300. 400. 500 million. Have these two completely lost their minds? All this for a mere fragment. Is its hidden power truly worth such a staggering legendary price tag? Perhaps it's just a clash of egos now. The assistant whispered. Sir. That brat is clearly mocking our authority. 𝐶𝐲's eyes narrowed with pure disdain. That insignificant worm doesn't have the status to oppose a titan like me. 1 billion 𝐶𝐲 shouted, silencing the entire room. The crowd gasped. 1 billion from bidder number 2. 𝐶𝐸n's face twisted in visible anger. Li Yi. That bastard is openly provoking us. We can't let him win. Li Yi stared at 𝐶𝐞𝐲. Thinking deeply. A man like him wouldn't waste billions on a mere emotional whim. Suddenly, President Qin let out a warning cough. Listen. Boy. Think carefully before you make your next move. The price is at 1 billion now. Can you actually produce enough legendary weapons to pay for this? 𝐶𝐸n snapped at her father. Stop ruining the mood, I'll pay. She turned to Li Yi with burning eyes. Do it. Li Yi. He didn't hesitate. 2 billion. The hall exploded. Bidder number 9 bids 2 billion. President Qin's leg began to shake uncontrollably. The sheer scale of this gamble was terrifying even for him. Li Yi smirked at 𝐶𝐞𝐲's pale face. 2 billion. Once 2 billion. Twice, the aide cursed Li Yi silently. Damn it, where did this kid find such wealth? 𝐶𝐲 gritted his teeth and finally accepted his bitter defeat. Sold for 2 billion. The gavel fell. 𝐶𝐲 suspected Qin was the secret power backing the boy-ass play. Congratulations. Bidder 9, 𝐶𝐸n cheered, grabbing Li Yi's arm in a victory hug. He was completely stunned. Was that really necessary? Li Yi asked. 𝐶𝐸n grinned. I just love seeing villains get their faces slapped. Qin hid. You've done it now. Even with our discount, you still owe over 70 high-grade blades. Li Yi didn't flinch. He remained as calm and composed as a deep, still pool of mountain water. Rarity dictates the price. But sheer quantity has a value all its own. Li Yi replied coolly, with a sharp snap of his fingers. A mountain of swords materialized, gleaming brilliantly under the lights. Over 100 blades. This should cover the 2 billion. Qin was left speechless with pure admiration. You're a bold one, Qin thought. 𝐶𝐸n whispered. Li Yi. Call me next time something exciting happens. Okay. The old man immediately regretted his praise. His precious daughter was becoming far too interested in this boy. I can't let him steal my daughter just yet. He quickly sent 𝐶𝐸n home to stay with her mother. Go collect your prize, Qin told Li Yi. 𝐶𝐸n gave him a playful wink before disappearing into the crowd. Thank you, President Qin, Li Yi replied. But the old man stopped him with one final, heavy warning. Listen well. You have secrets. But the NG Group is a titan you cannot hope to topple alone. Sometimes, having allies with the same goal is the only way to survive. Contact me if you're interested. Meanwhile, 𝐶𝐲's aide finished a dark phone call. The wheels of a deadly, hidden plot were already turning. The Qins have left. Li Yi is heading to collect the fragment alone. What are your final orders? 𝐶𝐲's eyes burned with cold, murderous malice. It's time to begin the hunt. Wait until he's out of the safe zone. Strike when he's vulnerable. Do not fail me this time. Don't worry. 3 C-rank hunters are ready. He won't survive the night. Li Yi walked into the darkness. It seems Qin Shaoshang has been digging into my past. That final invitation was clearly a blatant attempt to recruit me. If I can avoid his chains, forging an alliance wouldn't be a bad strategic move. Hearing that, Jing Tian snorted. A rank is nothing. With enough fragments, I can guarantee your ascension. You'll hit S rank easily. He caught my skeptical gaze. What's with that look, Don? Believe me, I believe you, I replied. I am just looking for a trial ground. Meanwhile, the live stream judges were losing it, flooding the comments with insults toward Jing Tian. Believe him. As if you think S rankers grow on trees like common vegetables. There are only 9 S ranks globally. And he claims it's easy. Show us then, fine. Let's stop before we provoke him further. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocked the area. Those cowards actually torched my apartment, leaving my small room in flames. Panic erupted as people scrambled for their lives. Run, honey. Where are you? Someone help. Mom, Dad. Amidst the chaos, My phone vibrated. Li Yi. I just received urgent intel. The Black Panthers are targeting you. I realized the truth. They've already struck. Xian's voice trembled with worry. Hide, I am coming now. Yet. Li Yi stood as immovable as a mountain. Don't worry. I'll handle this trash myself. Chu Ding led the pack. Sneering. You finally showed up. Now. Get on your knees and beg for mercy. Maybe I'll spare your miserable life if you crawl, Li Yi smirked. Black Panther really underestimates me. Sending only these weaklings to die. He arrogantly flipped his hair. You re the only one dying here today. Let's see an E rank survive against 3 C ranks. With a signal. They completely surrounded him. Closing every exit, Li Yi remained calm. Ever wonder why the Blood Panther hasn't managed to kill me yet? His chilling confidence shook them. Is he hiding his true strength? Chu Ding barked. Don't be fooled. He's just a lowly miner with 0 combat skills, blinded by greed. For the bounty. One thug lunged forward. Swinging his blade with reckless abandon, the blade struck air. In a flash, Li Yi blinked behind him, delivering a lethal, razor-sharp counterstrike. He's right. I'm just a humble miner. Li Yi whispered. Terror instantly drained the color from their faces. When did he move? Even the loud-mouthed Chu Ding was now drenched in a cold, paralyzing sweat. Both of you. Attack at once, but Li Yi gifted them both a permanent, one-way ticket to the afterlife. After severing their limbs, Li Yi calmly walked over and began massaging Chu Ding's trembling shoulders. A big-shot gangster. Afraid of a miner, Li Yi chuckled darkly. You like playing with fire. Don't you? Chu Ding wept. Let me go, instead. Li Yi gripped his neck and hurled him straight into the roaring inferno. Enjoy the heat, your boss won't let you get away with this. As Chu Ding's face melted in the flames, Li Yi added, Don't worry. I'll send your friends to join you soon. Just then, Xian arrived. Shouting his name. Li Yi, are you hurt? Talk to me. My fine. He replied coldly. They were just weak pawns. Xian sighed. Then asked, What is our next move? Since they struck first, it is time for a counteroffensive. Without hesitation, she stepped up to fight alongside him. I'll help you, she declared. Li Yi was genuinely puzzled. Why are you going this far for me? Xian looked away awkwardly. I've hated those Black Panther thugs for ages. Plus, they dared to touch my friend. Her face flushed a soft pink. You relied. One of my few true friends. Oblivious. Li Yi didn't notice her blush. Friends? Huh. Fine by me. He smirked. Let's start by dismantling the Black Panther gang once and for all. Xian led him to a luxurious suite. Stay here until we find you a new place. It's empty. So pick any room. Li Yi scanned the hallway and pointed. I'll take this one. Xian panicked, her face turning crimson. Wait, not that room, anywhere but there. Too late. He caught a glimpse of her surprisingly girly, doll-filled sanctuary. Quite the feminine touch you have here. It actually suits you. Xian paused. I thought you'd find it childish for a 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐭 to love such things. Li Yi shrugged innocently. Isn't it perfectly normal for a girl to like cute things? You were much cuter like this than when you were acting all cold. Her heart began to race uncontrollably at his words. Cute, no one has ever called me that before. She whispered to herself. Suddenly, her stomach growled loudly, making Li Yi chuckle. She pouted, trying to hide her mounting embarrassment. Are you still laughing? If I weren't so worried about your safety, I wouldn't be starving like this. Li wordlessly handed over the food. Eat this. It's just emergency rations. Xian circled him like a curious cat. Where did you get this? I've been wondering since the auction. Where do you hide those weapons? Liat gave a vague answer. But her curiosity only grew. Teach me that magic. Will you? Suddenly, a strange aura spiked. Li's expression darkened as he warned her. Qin Xian. Go home now. Why? She asked. Little did she know. Old man Xiaosheng was lurking nearby, cursing Li in the shadows. What honey-coated poison did he feed my precious daughter? They just met. Yet he brought her here. I'm not even allowed in this area. Yet, she's laughing more than she has in years. Unbelievable. Late at night. Alone together. This vibe is wrong, brat. Stay away from my girl, or I'll crush you. Li glanced toward the bushes. If you don't head back, your father might actually try to devour me. Realizing the situation, Xian screamed. Qin Xiao Shang soon. She was dragged away by the grumbling old man. Li secured the curtains. At number 3, Longmon Street. He finally had the solitude he needed. 3 cores, the bullhead lava, the blood leopard, and the legendary prize from the auction. Let's begin. Li told Jing Tian. I've always wondered about the link between these fragments and the rift. Listen well. It replied. These 3 shards are merely splinters of the Great Purgatory Gate. Every dimensional rift in your world is connected to these broken remnants of the Infernal Gate. Once the portal stabilized, Jing Tian stepped through first. The path is open. Enter the void. Li hesitated. If you know so much, then tell me. What exactly is this other dimension? Without another word, they plunged through the rift and entered the realm beyond. Why are there so many mutants and orcs here? Li asked. Jing Tian hissed. Because they are all prisoners. What you call other dimensions are actually sectors of a massive, multi-dimensional purgatory. A prison for the damned. As a sandstorm rose, Li shielded his eyes. A prison for inmates, Jing Tian challenged him to move forward. To find the truth, you must first survive and complete every trial hidden within this hellscape. As the dust settled, Li stood frozen, staring at a sight that defied all logic. Behold the Jing Tian Tower, my greatest masterpiece and the site of your ultimate crucible. A sarcastic voice echoed. Is this supposed to be art? Talk about a twisted sense of aesthetics. What's with these massive pillars? Are they just there to keep the tower from blowing away? The material. It's the same as those otherworldly weapons, isn't it? This place is a gold mine. Xiao Sheng would love this. It's worth a fortune, Jing Tian fumed in silence, barely containing its rage. Let him talk. A soul belongs to itself, even if fury threatens to shatter the mind. What's the trial? Li asked. Jing Tian replied. Tear through 6 floors. Start by defeating the Shadow Wyvern. Li eyed the gate. A Shadow Wyvern? I don't feel any pressure or killing intent at all. His confidence wasn't misplaced. As the beast emerged, Li's jaw dropped for a very different reason. It had a tiny, wiggling tail and stubby little legs that looked completely harmless, with shimmering, watery eyes. The creature looked utterly pathetic. This is the legendary Shadow Wyvern. Is this thing really a palace guardian? If I hit it, won't I be a bully? Jing Tian's voice turned cold. Laugh while you can. Boy, you won't be smiling for much longer. Ignoring the warning, Li leaned down to pet it. Come here, you cute little guy. Suddenly, the creature erupted in light, a terrifying phantom dragon soared, forcing a stunned Li to retreat. System update, dimensional data integrated. Accessing the hidden lore of the Shadow Realm. This was a true purgatory, an interdimensional prison holding the most dangerous entities across all existence. The Jing Tian Tower stood as a testament to its creator's power, housing his most elite servants. Status analysis: Shadow Wyvern. Rank C. Attribute: Void Shadow Enhancement. Warning: stats increased by 600%. Speed and power have reached catastrophic levels. Weak point marked. Li's heart raced. 600%. That's triple the power of my own shadow enhancement. Is my power a fake? Jing Tian sneered. No. Your mortal vessel is simply inferior to my pet. What a nightmare. The beast launches a sudden ambush, forcing Li Yi into a life-or-death struggle. He smirks. Does it not realize that bigger targets have more blind spots? He hurls his shadow daggers. Yet, his strikes fail to leave even a scratch. A wave of unease washes over Li Yi. Why is its shadow defense so impenetrable? Jing Tian scoffs. Are you still holding back your strength with that pathetic power? You're just tickling him. Li Yi quickly activates the weakness detection system. Jing Tian warns him again. If he fails to tame it, the first floor trial ends in failure. He strikes every possible weak point, but nothing works. Jing Tian watches calmly from the sidelines. He muses that the boy's shadow fortification and evasion skills are already quite impressive, deciding to push him further. He whispers to the beast. Hungry. This human tastes like a feast, driven by predatory instinct. The beast bares its jagged fangs, lunging for a lethal bite. He barely dodges the snap. But the wyvern is relentless, its mouth salivating with primal hunger, empowered by Jing Tian's provocation. It chases him wildly. Did this pet skip its rabies vaccine? Jing Tian retorts. You've drained its energy. Now, it sees you as a walking buffet. Li Yi scrambles away in panic. No honor, we were supposed to fight, not eat each other. Suddenly, an idea strikes. If you re that hungry, then try my ultimate secret technique. He tosses a dozen chicken drumsticks from his treasure bag, instantly distracting the gluttonous wyvern. It works perfectly. The beast immediately abandons its prey for the delicious feast Li Yi provided. He chuckles in triumph. That's right. Enjoy seizing the chance. He binds it tightly with ropes. Success. The notification confirms that control over the Shadow Wyvern's first trial floor is unlocked. Jing Tian sighs at the beast's gluttony. Suddenly, the system activates the Hell's Gate connection. Li Yi scans the prompt in confusion. Linking and access rights. What purpose do these serve? Jing Tian explains. Once fully energized, each fragment acts as a bridge to the netherworld. Realization dawns on him. So, by bonding with these shards, I can open portals at will. Indeed. Li Yi walks over and gently pats the now-tame Shadow Wyvern. With such incredible skills from floor 1, the rewards on higher floors must be truly legendary. Jing Tian smirks secretly. You cheated to pass floor 1 now. Suffer the nightmare of floor 2. He speaks up. Go ahead. The guards there are merely lowly servants of this tower. The chat erupts with insults toward Jing Tian. Is this ugly fool hiding a powerful secret form? They venture deeper inside. If floor 1 had rank C beasts, floor 2 will be far deadlier. Jing Tian goads him forward. Don't be afraid. Just take one look before making your choice. He plays along with a deceptive grin, insisting there is absolutely no danger ahead. Li Yi trusts him and steps inside. However, he immediately regrets it upon seeing the horrors within. Lightning serpents, water arrow turtles, and lava minotaurs. All rank C. Li Yi can only offer a wry smile. You call these servants facing a legion of hulking muscular monsters. Li Yi feels his heart sink. The lightning serpent strikes first, launching a lightning-fast ambush right at the protagonist. He leaps away from its jaws, only to find the entrance has been sealed behind him. Simultaneously, the monsters roar in unison. Exterminate the intruder, leave no one alive. Struggling to survive, Li Yi uses shadow evasion and maximum fortification to race toward the closing gate, with one final desperate dash. He successfully dives through the opening before the doors slam shut. He uses every ounce of strength to bolt the door, preventing those massive beasts from reaching him. Panting heavily, he yells. You lied to me. You said they were just lowly servants. I didn't lie. They are servants. Your skill is just too low. The two begin bickering. Then explain the lava minotaur. He's just a heater to keep the room warm. Serpents are batteries. Turtles mop floors. Li Yi is left speechless by such ridiculous excuses. Suddenly, a red alert flashes on his screen. A rank A entity is rapidly approaching. Qin Shaoxiang and his daughter finally arrive. Straight to the point. He asks. Tu Yin says you're targeting the Black Leopard gang. Li Yi notes. Exactly. They've marked me. I'd rather strike first than wait to be hunted. The older man sighs. The Black Leopards keep provoking me at Longmon 3 streets. Yet I stay my hand. Know why? Fear of breaking the city's fragile peace, Li Yi guesses. To his surprise, the tycoon nods in agreement. Hai Cheng is ruled by 3 titans. Wu Tianqiu holds the political reins of the entire city, while Ning Donghao and the NG Group dominate the economy. I stand right behind them, wielding both power and gold. I despise how the Black Leopards have been pillaging the market these past few years. But I cannot act unless they cross the line. Attacking them could force Ning Donghao and Wu Tianqiu into a hostile alliance. Or worse, we both suffer heavy losses. Leaving Wu Tianqiu to seize absolute control of Hai Cheng, Li Yi realizes the complexity and asks. So, you want to keep the Qin family out of the crossfire? The tycoon grins, patting Li Yi's shoulder. No. I want you and Tu Yin to build a new vanguard to crush them. Using a proxy to wage your war, Li Yi notes. The man praises him. Sharp. I provide the funding and men, you two execute. The others won't dare act rashly. Even if you fail, I'll be there to shield you both from the fallout. Li Yi is impressed. In just one night, the tycoon had planned every move. Truly a formidable mastermind, deep down. However, Shaoxiang is crying. If his daughter had insisted on helping this boy, he wouldn't bother with any of this. He grumbles internally. What spell did you cast on her? I'm losing money and men. And she'll probably run off with you anyway. Maybe I should distract her and toss this brat into a distant canyon. Li Yi sighs. Exhausted. Chairman, could you please keep your inner monologue to yourself? Blushing, Tu Yin pushes her father out. Get out. Dad. She slams the door and turns back to Li Yi. What's our next move? Li Yi smirks. It's time to start accepting missions. We're retaking every gate quest available. I intend to sweep through every rift in 𝐋𝐞𝐲. Tu Yin nods. Understanding the plan. Understood. I'll arrange it. A strange excitement stirs within Li Yi. When these fragments finally align, the Black Leopard Gang will face their darkest hour. With Tu Yin's help and a single command, over 100 soldiers are now under Li Yi's authority. She opens the doors to reveal dozens of warriors standing in perfect, silent formation. I handpicked these elites myself, she says calmly. They are the Shadow Sect. And they answer only to you. Li Yi is stunned by the name. The Shadow Sect, seeing their leaders. The masked warriors salute in unison. Greetings. Young mistress, greetings. Sect leader, knowing Li Yi lacked a flair for naming, Tu Yin had taken the initiative. She smiles playfully. You were taking too long, so I named it after your skills. Don't tell me you hate it. Finding her humor refreshing, Li Yi grins back. Not at all. It actually sounds quite legendary, to be certain. He uses his powers to discreetly scan every single soldier in the room. Their stats are impressive. Every one of them is rank C. Together, they form a devastatingly powerful force. Curious. He asks Tu Yin. Why is everyone wearing masks? She gives him a deadpan look. To hide their identities and prevent their families from being threatened. Obviously. Then, with an innocent smile, she adds, besides, don't you think they look incredibly cool this way? Li Yi forced a smile, thinking, are you sure it's not just because the artist was too lazy to draw faces? With their forces assembled, she asks confidently. So, where do we strike first? With a clear target in mind, he replies. We're going to start stealing their livelihood. Looking at his formidable new army, Li Yi's excitement reaches a fever pitch. I'm going to hijack every single commission the Black Leopard Gang has ever touched. Tu Yin looks worried. That many? Can we really handle such a massive workload? Unfazed, Li Yi declares. Don't worry. We'll take the high-value targets, and I'll handle the rest myself. Back at the Black Leopard Guild, the master's fury rained down on his terrified subordinate, hurling the reports. He roared. Useless trash. A new Shadow Guild is snatching every single contract. He slammed his fist onto the desk, glaring intensely at the trembling man. Must I teach you everything, if they want trouble? Send someone to wipe them out. Head bowed, the subordinate whispered in fear. We cannot handle them. Sire. That pathetic answer fueled the master's rage. He lunged forward, snatching the man's collar, yanking him close. His eyes burned with pure malice. What did you say? Our power is limited, he stammered. For every mission, they deploy 5 or 6 C rank rankers. The master froze, realizing the massive gap in his own forces. Are we short on C ranks? He hissed. Damn it. Where did these monsters come from? Realizing rage wouldn't solve this, he threw the man down and barked a new order. Buy every expedition pass available. Send our men inside to find the targets. But the subordinate hesitated. Sir, mysterious buyers have already bought out all the recent slots. To the master, those excuses fell on deaf ears. He refused to be outplayed. He could not stomach being overshadowed by these nameless nobodies. He slapped the man hard, eyes gleaming like a predator cornering its prey. Steal them or pay a fortune. I don't care. Fail me, and you re-dead. Terrified, the subordinate scrambled away to fulfill the impossible task. Meanwhile, Li Yi and Si Yin were busy gathering intel on upcoming missions. Si Yin hung up a mysterious call and turned to Li Yi, stunned by his foresight. The Black Leopard Guild bought our slots at a premium. How did you know they would, having faced them before? He knew their greedy mindset like the back of his hand. Li Yi smirked with absolute confidence. Because they'd never skip this quarter's biggest payday. Si Yin frowned. I don't get it. He sighed. It's about the unwritten rules of the mines. Corrupt managers hide high-grade ores and rare artifacts to sell them on the side. Before the quarterly audits, they smuggle them out for massive profits. The Black Leopards used mercenary missions to plant spies and mark their targets. The guildmaster had been exploiting this loophole for ages. Since the goods are illegal, no one dares report the theft to the police. With that route blocked, they're forced to pay anything to enter the other world. But, Si Yin interjected, we're only scamming them out of a bit of cash. Li Yi stood up, eyes sparkling. Oh, it's about much more than just money. All those otherworld trips I took, they weren't just for show. Suddenly, a portal shimmered. An otherworld gate, she gasped in awe. I've marked every entry in 𝐋𝐞𝐲. I can open a path whenever I want. We just need to shadow the buyers. They'll lead us straight to the leopard-ass prey. Si Yin grinned. her blood pumping. Then we crush them all at once. What a brilliant strategy. This stays between us. Li Yi warned. No one can know I can open portals. Gather your best. I am coming too. I love playing the hero, she said. Grabbing his hand, Li Yi stayed silent, offering only a soft, approving smile. He truly trusted the fiery girl standing before him. All right, he said, stepping toward the gate. Let's go take them down together, inside the other world. A massive truck thundered across the rugged stone terrain. The driver leaned toward the bald man. Old Wang. This haul is worth a fortune. Old Wang smirked, crossing his arms. Relax. You'll get a massive cut when we're done. As they fantasized about their payday, a silent threat emerged from the road ahead. A jagged spire erupted from the earth. The driver, distracted, didn't see the ground shifting. I'll thank you on behalf of the crew, then he laughed. Flooring the accelerator, that tiny stone suddenly surged upward, transforming into a lethal, towering pillar of rock. Look out, Old Wang roared, sensing the danger. But it happened in a heartbeat. What the hell is going on? The driver screamed as chaos erupted. He was a master behind the wheel, weaving through a sudden forest of stone pillars. However, the trucks behind weren't so lucky. They took the full force of the impact. The desperate escape ended abruptly as their vehicle slammed into a massive stone wall. Once the wheels stopped spinning, the terrified crew scrambled out of the wreckage. Status report, they shouted. Is the cargo still intact? What hit us? A man with a mohawk stepped from the shadows. The goods are perfectly fine. He levitated hundreds of stone shards, eyes gleaming. But you lot, you were in trouble. An awakened, run for your lives, they shrieked. Recognizing the terrifying power before them, the Mohawk laughed manically, relishing his absolute dominance as he controlled the stones. Don't run. You pathetic trash, I haven't even finished playing with you yet. Mid-laugh, a cold voice cut through his excitement. I'll play with you instead. In a flicker of shadows, Li Yi materialized directly behind the cocky villain. Who the hell are you? The Mohawk snarled, his eyes burning with sudden rage. Li Yi remained calm. Stealing is one thing, but treating lives like toys. Before the villain could blink, Li Yi was in his face. Too fast. He tried to counter, but Li Yi's iron grip caught his face first. Valuing life is important. With a casual shove, Li Yi sent him crashing violently into the nearby cliffside. Li Yi's footsteps shattered the ground, sending clouds of thick dust into the air. The solid rock groaned as a massive crater formed behind the pinned villain. Realizing his opponent was completely outmatched, Li Yi finally loosened his suffocating grip. The Mohawk gasped for air, his bravo gone. Who the hell are you? Back off now, or my brothers will hunt you down, he threatened weakly. Li Yi glanced toward Xiyin. You mean those low-level trash heaps over there? His men had been decimated. What? He gasped. Xiyin asked. Kill them all. Li Yi raised a hand, a dark energy swirling. He had a better plan. No. Killing them is too merciful for Black Leopard. I have a better idea. The Mohawk trembled like a leaf, his arrogance replaced by pure, unadulterated terror. What are you doing? He wailed. Li Yi leaned in, delivering a chilling command. Go back. Tell Black Leopard that Li Yi of the Shadow Sect did this. The scene shifts to a cold hospital wing outside the spatial gate. The Black Leopard boss and his assistant walked past rows of injured members. Seeing his elite warriors covered in casts, the boss erupted in a furious roar, his face contorted with rage. He couldn't believe a mere brat had done this. How did that pathetic miner become so powerful? The boss hissed through gritted teeth. It's bad. Darius, the assistant whispered. Their bones are completely shattered internally. Recovery will cost 5 million per person. He added, checking the medical bills. That is 30 million total. Suddenly, his tablet pinged with an urgent new message. Staring at the grim report, his voice trembled as he delivered the devastating news to the boss. Our other 2 units have been wiped out. Rage exploded within the leader at those words. What? He lunged forward, grabbing the assistant's collar. Tell me, who did this? The assistant gasped in terror, stammering out one single name, Li Yi. Bad news kept piling up, driving the boss to madness. How those dimensions are hundreds of kilometers apart. Trembling, the assistant checked his tablet once more before answering in fear. It is confirmed. Li Yi did this personally. Our men even caught it on video. The footage showed Li Yi and his guild absolutely dominating the battlefield with overwhelming power. A scout screamed for mercy. Suddenly, Li Yi's gaze locked directly onto the camera lens. In a flash, Li Yi teleported right in front of the screen. Are you recording this? He asked. The cameraman shrieked, scrambling back in pure desperation. Stay away, get back. Li Yi seized the device, staring straight at the leader. Black Leopard. Your men are pathetic. Come yourself, mocked and humiliated. Black Leopard gripped the tablet, his hands shaking with impotent fury. All these injured men. The medical bills alone will cost you a fortune. Won't they? Unable to take another word. The boss crushed the tablet in his bare hands, screaming, "Damn you! Li Yi, I swear on my life, I will rip you apart." While the Black Leopard gang fumed, Li Yi's team had already reached the enemy's main supply depot. They stepped inside to find a sea of rare resources stretching as far as the eye could see. Si Yin looked at him, puzzled. Li Yi, why are we here? He smiled, his plan in motion, while tracking a target earlier. I accidentally stumbled upon this secret treasure hoard. We have been ruining his plans all week. He is bound to lead a strike team out soon. Si Yin's eyes widened. You plan to rob him blind while he's away? Li Yi nodded. Exactly. Their conversation was interrupted by a sudden chime from Li Yi's phone. Boss Li. The Black Leopard has just mobilized toward dimension number 3. Everything was falling into place. Good. Everyone. Continue monitoring their every move. He turned to Si Yin with a confident smirk. As expected. The leopard took the bait. I will go draw his attention to buy you time. Si Yin's face clouded with worry. He is a B-rank hunter. At least take Duan Ngao with you for backup. No need for that. With a wave of his hand, a shimmering portal tore through the air. This is a stealth mission. Bringing others would only slow me down. Si Yin hesitated. Heart heavy. Li Yi turned his back and stepped toward the rift, offering one last reassurance. Don't worry. This portal is my lifeline. Take care. Si Yin whispered. Meanwhile, at the Black Leopard's raiding site, the boss and his thugs were busy plundering. Unaware of the trap closing in, we hit the jackpot. This haul is worth millions. One lackey cheered greedily. Another sycophant approached the boss, grinning. You are incredible. Boss, with you here, even that brat Li Yi wouldn't dare show his face. The boss smirked arrogantly. He is just a lowly miner. Even with C-rank help, he is nothing to me. But suddenly, his instincts screamed. He tensed, scanning the shadows for a hidden threat. A dark figure materialized behind them. Who's there? The boss barked. But one lackey was already caught. Before he could react, a coil of living shadow wrapped tightly around the man's throat. Only one person was capable of this. Li Yi's voice drifted through the air, mocking him. Not bad. Your B-rank senses are sharper than I thought. The boss growled. Li Yi, why the long face? I am just a humble little miner. Remember, Li Yi teased. The captive subordinate let out a choked sob, reaching toward his boss. Save me. Please save me. With a hostage in his grasp, Li Yi played his trump card, using the captive to paralyze the boss's hitman. Stay back, or I can promise he'll stay in one piece. But the boss didn't even flinch. Without hesitation, he unleashed a massive fireball at both Li Yi and his own man. Then die together. The subordinate stood frozen in shock. Boss, what are you doing? Li Yi waited until the flames were inches away, ignoring the hostage's desperate, agonized screams. As the inferno swallowed the captive, Li Yi used his shadow meld to vanish instantly. Wait. He's gone. Li Yi smirked from the darkness. Willing to kill your own. You really are a piece of work. The boss went berserk, striking blindly until he realized he just charred his own loyal soldier to a crisp. Nice shot. But you missed. Li Yi's voice chilled the air as he appeared behind another target. Working for a guy like this is a death sentence. Don't you think? The goon trembled in pure terror. Dawn, get cocky, the boss roared, eyes bloodshot. I'll sacrifice everyone just to see you dead. There's no escape. He unleashed a fire dragon cyclone, sending his own men fleeing for their lives. But this was exactly what Li Yi wanted to drive the mad dog into a mindless, self-destructive rage, thinning the ranks without lifting a finger. He merged back into the shadows, leaving the boss screaming in fury. Li Yi, you pathetic cockroach, come out and face me like a man. Hidden away. Li Yi remained calm. A Class B opponent is no joke. Just a little more time. A sinister grin crossed his face. I wonder how you'll react when you see what is waiting back home. Later that night, the report came in. It was the Shadow Gang and the young lady of the Qin family. Boss. They had 2 Class B and 10 Class C experts. We stood no chance, returning empty-handed. The boss's fury was suffocating. His men turned pale, begging for mercy, lost in his madness. He executed his most loyal subordinate on the spot before walking away in silence. So that's why Li Yi had backup. Qin Si-yin is behind this. A murderous plan began to take root. If that's how it is, don't blame me for being heartless. Somewhere in the shadows. Shihao sighed. This ends now. But the boss cut him off with a snarl. Ends now. My entire fortune of hundreds of millions is in that vault, Shihao groaned. What then? You expect me to lend you an army to march on the Qin residence, even with the patriarch away from High City? Qin Si-yin is someone we cannot afford to touch. He placed a firm hand on the boss's shoulder. Our experiment is at its peak. You must endure this. The boss shoved him away, screaming. I'm done waiting. I'll kill them both and leave this city forever. Suddenly, Shihao's patient mask shattered, replaced by a cold, suffocating dominance. His gaze turned lethal. If you were so intent on seeking death, I'll silence you myself right now. The boss's bravado vanished instantly. He recoiled like a beaten cur, trembling before the superior power. Don't let petty greed ruin the grand plan. Once the experiment succeeds, I'll help you crush the Qins. The boss reluctantly bowed. Understood. But inside, he was seething. Easy for you to say. Old man, I've never been humiliated like this in my entire life. You think I need your help to handle a little girl like Si-yin? Meanwhile, on the highway, inside a luxury sedan, Qin Si-yin's face was beet red. Li Yi is actually quite brilliant. Isn't he? The butler chuckled, teasing her. Seems our eldest lady has Li Yi on the brain. She flushed deeper. I never said I missed him, she stammered, looking away to hide her bashful expression. You've been awake for 1 hour and mentioned his name 24 times. He's just a friend. Suddenly, an out-of-control truck barreled straight toward them, cutting her off mid-sentence. The butler reacted with lightning speed, shielding her from the shattering glass as they dove out the door. Watch out. The warning came just as the massive vehicle roared past them. The water truck crashed violently, sending a deluge across the road. Guards rushed to the scene. Young lady, are you hurt? Is everyone all right? She took a breath, calming her racing heart. I am fine. A shadow emerged. Still healthy. Miss, protect her, butler roared. Weaklings cannot stop me. Her head throbbed. What? This water is venom. Spider poison. Black Leopard laughed cruelly. 10 hours paralysis. Miss. Run. He grabbed and burned the butler. Loyalty ends tragically. Flames consumed him. Si-yin watched, helpless. Li Yi practiced. He moved invisibly. Daggers shredded targets apart. Call me something better. Yi grumbled. His phone rang. Si-yin. C-rank ants. Qin mocked. Terrible news struck. Look who's here. What do you want? Her value. 1 billion or she dies. He sneered. A trap. 1 billion. Where? Now. Come alone or she dies. Stay away, Qin warned. You will die. I want to abandon her. Move. Where's the money? Brat. Show me Si-yin first. Machinery roared. Si-yin hung there, battered. Leave now. He opened space storage, revealing cash stacks. Money's here. Release her. Leopard wanted blood instead. You both die now. He knew. Money exploded. Where is he, Leopard? Yi struck from behind. Sneak attacks fail. Leopard fired. Dust ignites. Goodbye. Fool. The fire backfired fatally. Si-yin screamed. Suddenly, a dark blade severed Tu-Am's restraints, sending her plummeting into the abyss. Tu-Am braced for impact, but opening her eyes, she found herself completely unharmed. Instead, she was safe in Li Dat's arms atop Fai Long. He commanded the dragon into the rift, leaving the boss fuming below. That brat Li Dat has hidden tricks. Once I catch him, everything he owns will be mine. A terrified henchman reported. Boss, more than half our men are wounded. Ignoring him, the boss lunged into the rift. Anyone who can still move, hunt him down now. Don't let them escape, he roared. Tu-Am watched in terror, her heart racing. What could they do now? The Black Leopard gang had already breached the perimeter. He smirked. Perfect. They'll clear the path for me. Hide with Fai Long. I'll handle the rest. Tu-Am tried to protest, but before she could speak, Li Dat leaped from the dragon's back. Relax. Ivy got this. Qin appeared, noticing the open portal, using them to breach floor 2. Are we? Li Dat gave a cold chuckle. Exactly. There's no rule saying I must go alone. Qin nodded. Clever brat. Always finding loopholes. The prize is too good. That rank A defensive armor will be mine. Suddenly, a massive fireball erupted near him. Li Dat instantly conjured a barrier to withstand the blast. The black leopards were persistent. After struggling through the gate, they finally cornered him. Nowhere left to run. Li Dat? The youth just scoffed. Run? Why would I run? Secretly weaving shadows behind him? He narrowed his eyes. Tuam is safe. Now. It's your turn. His defiant gaze enraged the boss. You've completely lost your mind. Boy. He rallied his thugs. Don't falter. He's outnumbered and alone. Kill him. Then we find the girl. You can all have a taste of the Tan heiress. Li Dat's expression darkened. You might have the numbers. But I have something much better. He tore open the shadow veil, welcoming his guests. Within the rift, hungry eyes began to glow. The monsters stared at the gang like a feast, surging forward with ravenous hunger. With a mock bow, Li Dat smiled. Welcome to the trial. Everyone, try to survive. Seeing the rank C monsters, the boss turned pale. Be careful, he shrieked to his men. Li Dat blurred past the chaos, vanishing instantly. The boss's rage reached a breaking point. Get back here, he roared. Hurling a massive fireball at the encroaching beasts, the inferno incinerated the monsters to ash. But the boss's true target was Li Dat. Standing opposite him. Think you were the only one with big moves. Li Dat summoned a titanic shadow mace. Let me ramp up the aggro for you. Explode. He swung the massive mace, smashing the incoming fireball head-on. Impressive force. He muttered. A rank B attack really is something else. The boss unleashed a barrage of fire, forcing Li Dat to his knees. The villain laughed maniacally. Blocking one was luck. Boy, how many more can your broken body take? Bleeding but unbowed. Li Dat smirked. Once was all I needed. Look behind you, he whispered. The boss spun around, his face twisting in sudden horror. Have fun with your new friends. Li Dat bolted as the monsters lunged at their new target. The beasts swarmed him, claws bared. Curse that brat, he set me up, forced to fight for his life. He roared. Get away from me, you vermin. Each punch shattered a skull. Yet the wave of monsters seemed endless. Li Dat, he screamed into the void. I'll tear you limb from limb for this. Meanwhile, deep within Floor 2's core, Li Dat finally stepped into the clear. Is it really here rank A armor that can block anything? I never lie. Consider it your grand prize for surviving this floor. After a short walk, they stumbled upon something strange. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 explained. This is 𝐶𝐞𝐿, the second floor manager. He's finally at peace. Then came a solemn plea. After the black leopard business, could you help me arrange his funeral? Li Dat agreed without hesitation. Consider it done. Moved by the gesture, 𝐶𝐞𝐲 expressed his silent gratitude. After staring at 𝐶𝐞𝐿's frozen remains, 𝐶𝐞𝐲 pushed forward. Let's go. The armor is just ahead. Upon reaching their destination, both looked up at the majestic, legendary armor towering above them. Li Dat asked, Is that the armor you mentioned? 𝐶𝐞𝐲 nodded solemnly. Then summoned the heavy plate down. Li Dat inspected it closely. Not bad. It looks better than I imagined. Meanwhile, 𝐶𝐞𝐲 watched him with deep concern. Too bad this kid only has Tier 2 dark strengthening. If only it were Tier 3. Even at Tier 3. Would he survive this rank A defensive armor? It might still be too much. Noticing the intense stare, Li Dat turned around, feeling uneasy. Is something wrong? Why are you looking at me? 𝐶𝐞𝐲 crossed his arms. Nothing. Just take your reward. You're giving me goosebumps with all this sudden emotion. But as they joked, the armor suddenly lunged forward, its cold grip tightening around Li Dat's throat. A sinister chuckle echoed. It's been years. I thought you'd never return. My master. System alert variant. Soul body. Rank B. Skill Tier 2 dark strengthening and soul refining. The armor was alive. 𝐶𝐞𝐲 watched in horror as his former subordinate attacked his new host. What's happening? Toppermit. Recognition dawned on 𝐶𝐞𝐲 as he cried out. 𝐶𝐞𝐿. 𝐶𝐞𝐿 sneered. The once mighty master is now a mere parasite on such a low-level creature. Pathetic. Sensing the lethal danger, the powerless 𝐶𝐞𝐲 could only scream. 𝐶𝐞𝐿. I order you to stop. Order me, 𝐶𝐞𝐿's face twisted in rage. You dare command me after all this time? He spat back in defiance. My soul slept in this armor, hoping you'd return to save me and extend my life. But you failed. You returned as a pathetic remnant. Now, I shall refine you instead. I'll reach Tier 3 dark strengthening and use my territory power to make this armor my eternal vessel. With a roar, 𝐃𝐀𝐑𝐊𝐿 unleashed a soul-crushing wave of agony that tore through 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐭's very essence. 𝐷𝐷 watched in terror as 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐭 writhed. Struggling to survive the madman's onslaught, 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 watched, "If I give you full control of my body, can you win?" 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 was stunned. "Aren't you afraid? I'll steal your body and never give it back." As 𝐃𝐀𝐿's grip tightened, 𝐷𝐷 hissed. "Stop joking, we're out of time. You gave it back before I trust you. Now, do it, merge with me." In that split second between life and death, 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿's power flooded 𝐷𝐷, blasting 𝐃𝐀𝐿 back. Though forced back, 𝐃𝐀𝐿 remained arrogant. "You're just a rank A remnant. Why struggle against the inevitable? Your end is here." 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 smirked. "Even as a rank A host, I have more than enough power to crush you." Status rank a parasite. Note, parasitic skills are currently unavailable for use. 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 struck first, unleashing his terrifying shadow domain. Using Tier 2 shadow aura, he intimidated his foe. 𝐃𝐀𝐿 laughed. "Tier 2? Is that all? So you hid this from me. You never taught me the true secrets of shadow arts." 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 ignored him. Activating Shadow Manifestation Infinite Sword Array. Thousands of dark blades materialized. "I've hidden more than just one trick," 𝐃𝐀𝐿 roared, lunging forward with reckless fury. "So what? That human body can handle the strain of a Tier 3 skill." Before the blade fell, 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 used Shadow Blink, vanishing and reappearing behind 𝐃𝐀𝐿 in a flash. What kind of skill is this? 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 was fast, but 𝐃𝐀𝐿 reacted instantly, barely blocking the lethal strike. "You can't maintain this Tier 2 form for long." 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 retreated. Checking on 𝐷𝐷. "Can you hold on?" 𝐷𝐷's face was pale, but his eyes blazed. "I am fine." 𝐾𝐞𝐟𝐿 launched a barrage of long-range attacks, but 𝐃𝐀𝐿 remained unfazed by the onslaught. This attack isn't enough to pierce his armor. Realizing this, 𝐃𝐀𝐿 leaps high, pouring his entire soul into one strike. "I'll force you out." A thunderous punch clashes with the blade in an instant, sending a shockwave that shatters the surrounding earth into 1,000 fragments. As the dust settles, Shiming's cheap sword snaps in two. Left with no choice, he blocks the next blow with his bare arm, but he's overwhelmed by the sheer force. 𝐃𝐀𝐿 prays silently for just a moment more of strength. Suddenly, Li Yi's body is seized by an agonizing spasm. Sensing the change, 𝐃𝐀𝐿 checks on him immediately. "I am fine," Li Yi insists. But 𝐃𝐀𝐿 can see the heavy toll this is taking on him. They can keep going. Li Yi's soul and body will be incinerated by the overflowing energy, because his body froze. Shiming takes the chance to fully synchronize with his armor once again, wasting an opportunity for a piece of trash. How pathetic. Shiming's power explodes to a terrifying level. 𝐃𝐀𝐿 is pushed to the brink. Shiming chuckles, raising his fist. "Then don't blame me for this." A brutal strike to the chest forces 𝐃𝐀𝐿's spirit to be ejected from Li Yi's body. Before he can recover, Shiming's massive hand snatches him from the air and pulls him close. 𝐃𝐀𝐿 merely smirks. To think he'd be bitten by the very dog he once raised. Shiming ignores the insult, focusing on absorbing him. "At last, I can truly live again." Li Yi watches in total despair. Despite being beaten to a pulp, his only concern is for his friend. As he struggles to stand, 𝐃𝐀𝐿 feels a sharp pang of guilt in his heart. He shouts for Li Yi to run. 𝐃𝐀𝐿's aura is fading fast, yet the stubborn boy charges forward anyway. "Let him go." Shiming is mockingly touched. One fears for his partner's soul and holds back his power, while the other is a mere insect who dares challenge him. He releases a shockwave that sends Li Yi flying back. His internal organs are crushed upon impact, and he coughs up blood uncontrollably as he hits the rocks. Seeing this, 𝐃𝐀𝐿's heart breaks, forcing him to use cruel words to save the boy. "A rank C like you is just a nuisance. Get lost already." But Li Yi refuses. "You worked me like a slave, forced me into battles, and pushed me to level up. Every single step was your decision. You always wanted me to just follow your lead." He remembers the warmth of 𝐃𝐀𝐿's healing magic. "This dark power is healing my wounds even now." Li Yi grits his teeth with resolve. "Whether I leave or stay, that's my choice to make." He lunges at Shiming with reckless abandon, defying the traitor's soul-crushing pressure. "I used the darkness to kill the blood leopard, and I'll use it to end you today." Shiming mocks his resolve. "End me, you'll explode before you even touch me." "You brainless fool. Mind your own business," Li Yi roars, even as cracks appear across his skin, as pain and numbness sear his nerves. He realizes his body is literally fracturing apart. His strength vanishes as Shiming's aura begins to devour him whole. What an adorable suicide attempt. Shiming laughs. "Is this really how you want to die?" Jing Tian pleads with his last bit of strength for him to stop. Xi Ming only accelerates the feast. Be my nourishment. He swallows the final drop of energy with a look of pure, twisted bliss. Li Yi's body seems to dissolve into nothingness. But a true protagonist doesn't die so easily. Suddenly, a massive whirlpool of abyssal energy surrounds Xi Ming, leaving him frozen in shock. What is this eternal night, a shadow domain? He panics. Impossible. I haven't even finished refining Jing Tian's power yet. I told you. A familiar voice echoes. Li Yi stands there, transformed and magnificent. I am here to destroy you, now fully empowered. Li Yi shrugs off every attack with ease. Xi Ming is left trembling in utter despair. He appraisals the boy human rank C. Shadow empowerment, triple calamity. Shadow eyes. Shadow form. Shadow step. Shadow domain explained. Within this realm, one can freely manipulate shadows, boosting skills, and drastically reducing energy consumption. Every soul claimed within this dark domain is forged into pure shadow essence. Upon reading this, Xi Ming felt a terrifying shiver run down his spine. Suddenly, Li Yi grasped the ultimate truth. Souls are the very foundation of the shadow domain. No wonder you fear this power. He sneered. What happens when that armor fails you? He unleashed a massive dark orb, forcing his foe into a desperate, frantic scramble, seizing the opening. Li Yi blinked behind him. Get out of that shell right now. With a fist fueled by raw intent, he struck Xi Ming, slamming him into the dirt. Yet the villain rose with a chilling cackle. A third rank, is that all you've got? You just C rank. This legendary armor can withstand even A rank level devastation. Li Yi chuckled. If I can break it from outside, I'll dismantle it from within. Xi Ming lashed out with razor claws. But Li Yi dissolved into a phantom haze, turning into shadow mist. He seeped through the armor's gaps, invading the interior. Agony flared as Li Yi seized the core. Xi Ming abandoned his gear to survive. Li Yi toyed with the empty helmet, a playful yet dangerous smirk on his face. A parasite in a shell. You used this armor to feast on souls and survive. Xi Ming gnashed his teeth. Without his protection, his strength was fading fast. With the core lost, escape was his only option. He prepared for 36 stratagems, but Li Yi wasn't letting his prey go. You think you have a chance? Black chains surged forth, binding him tight. Xi Ming turned with a mask of malice. My soul is bound to this core, attack me. And your weapon shatters too. Li Yi remained unfazed. Have you forgotten? Souls are nothing but shadow energy here, without protection. The core pulsed. Jing Tian's eyes snapped open. Regaining full consciousness, Li Yi wasted no time. Now, become the nourishment for my legendary ascension. Jing Tian laughed mockingly. Xi Ming, you underestimated this human's bottomless hunger for power. Shut up, Xi Ming roared. Once he consumes me, do you think he'll spare you? No living creature can ever resist the siren call of absolute dark desire. Suddenly, Li Yi's body convulsed. An agonizing headache tore through him. Forcing a scream, a suffocating aura exploded from his body, chilling every nearby creature to the bone. Li Yi's presence shifted entirely. So, this is the overwhelming power of a B rank. B rank human. Shadow fortification. Eye of Shadow. Domain active. He spoke with chilling authority. Jing Tian. You next. The weapon trembled at the weight of Li Yi's smirk, harnessing his newfound power. He funneled a torrent of energy directly into his companion. He manipulated the scattered armor shards. Life extension, no. I meant this new form. By sealing your soul into this armor, it shall become your true physical vessel. He fitted the reforged armor onto Jing Tian, who watched in stunned, silent gratitude. A new legend emerged, Kangji tribe. Third rank parasite state. Shadow mastery awakened. Li Yi teased with a playful grin. You're so dark now. Eating you gives indigestion. Stowing his gear, he returned to normal. That armor is ugly. Consider it a gift. Meanwhile, in the hidden realm, a subordinate was being crushed by a serpent-esque coils. Boss, save me, the leader just chuckled, conjuring 2 blazing fireballs in his palms. Be patient. I'll end your pain right now. He fired, incinerating both beast and man. He clicked his tongue ruthlessly. Trash like you isn't worth a rescue mission anyway. 2 figures approached from the shadows. Catching the cruel leader's sharp attention, Li Yi walked forward, hands in pockets. A B rank, and you still this pathetic, consumed by blinding rage. The leader lunged, initiating a final life or death struggle. Standing by Li Yi's side, Jing Tian flicked his wrist, sending the boss flying. Sensing that overwhelming rank A pressure, the boss cursed under his breath. Damn it, Li Yi alone was manageable. But now he's acting cocky just because he has a rank A powerhouse backing him up. Using an expert like that, isn't that just blatant bullying? Li Yi cracked his knuckles and told Jing Tian. Wait. Leave this level of trash for my own training, the boss scoffed. Practice once I break free of this. I'll show you who really wins. Come then, a violent aura erupted from Li Yi as he instantly activated his shadow domain. The boss sneered, convinced that mere tricks couldn't bridge the gap of his low-tier status. Li Yi lunged forward to prove him wrong. Who said anything about me still being low-tier? He delivered a brutal strike to the stomach before instantly flickering behind his opponent.